Oh, yo, living, man. Welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to the fucking stream, baby. You know what's crazy, man? I just pop out, open the closet. I got 100 t-shirts laid out, hung up on the hangers, on these red velvet hangers. I just pulled this off the rack like it's nothing, bro. That vintage Lacoste black collar tee. I pulled off the rack like it's nothing, bro. I just close my eyes, pull it off. Oh, cool. Nothing crazy. Just some vintage Lacoste. Nothing crazy. Just casual. It's just a casual shit that I pull up off the rack. What's good, man? How are y'all? Welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to the stream, baby. I had a good day yesterday. I saw my family. It's important. You should see your family, chat. I went on a little dinner. I was going to say date. It wasn't a date. I'm thinking about dates because I have one tomorrow. But I went on a little family hangout type of thing yesterday, and it was awesome. You should see your family. It makes you feel good. You should see your family. Makes you feel good. It was fucking freezing, but it was awesome. Dude, I'm like super, okay, there was someone there, like a friend of the family, and I've become super conscious of hair recently. And so I'm watching everyone's hair. And someone that was there, it was like a friend of a friend, and he's like a 60-year-old guy. He's got really, like, I'm really cognizant of the hairline. Like, is it sharp, and then does it come in? Like, how sharp is your hairline? And when I was leaving, I told him, I said, by the way, I don't know if you get this a lot, but you have really good hair. Like, you genuinely got really good hair. And he looked at me like I was trolling. And if you troll somebody about their hair when they're like 50, 60, they're conscious of that shit. I know, like, 'cause I'm 24, I'm conscious of my shit. And I don't think he was happy with me. And I was like, bro, I'm being so dead ass. You have really good hair. I don't know if you get that a lot. And he was like, yeah, I don't get it a lot. And I'm like, bro, I'm being serious. So I don't, how do you approach that? What are you supposed to say? I don't know what you're supposed to say. Like, how do you compliment another grown man that his hair looks good? His hair follicles are sharp. I don't really know what to do, how to say it, how to approach it, but I did my best. I'll try again better next time. And when I say flirt with everyone, I mean even family. So I appreciate y'all. Welcome back to the stream. Pudgy Ma, what's good? Rectal Blizzing, what's good? Tentacruel ETH, what's good? One Spicy Meatball, what's good? Dina, DJ Slumbo, Wavy 80, Gravy in the Navy, Viblet, my homie, Caleb, what's good? Jackson Ray, Digi, what's good? Polka, what is good? The Greedy Badger, what's good? Proof of Work, what's good? Oh my God. Bitcoin Bongo, what's good? Goldman Tracks, not to be confused with Goldman Sachs, who just announced they got like $1 billion of Bitcoin. Live the Life TV, what's good? Defluge, what's good? Metaverse, what's good? Rectal Lizzie, what's good? Rocky, what is good? DMX, Dank, the whole squad in here. If you're watching on Twitter, Crypto DJ Life 69, Levi, what's good? If you're watching on Twitter and you want to chat, twitch.tv/threadguy, or if you're on YouTube and you want to chat, twitch.tv/threadguy. If you want to watch on both, pump my viewers and make me happy while I stream, then that would also be fun. Fun stream today. We have a lot to talk about. There's a lot going on. You know, we're kind of getting bailed out because crypto is pretty TG Beard looking fired. Thank you. Let me just say this real quick then, but since you're going to put me off track. I've never shaved my beard before, like in my whole life up until a couple weeks ago. I've never shaved my beard, and it grows fast. And so anytime I wanted to shave my beard, I would just get a full haircut. So I was getting a haircut every 2 weeks, like since I was like 19. Every 2 weeks since I was going to get a haircut because I didn't want to shave my beard. And because of that, I was like, fuck, if I'm going to pay for a haircut, I might as well get my haircut. So I would get a fade. But I didn't really want a fade anymore, but I felt like pressured into getting a fade because I'm paying for the haircut. So I might as well just fucking get the fade. And so I basically got stuck with a haircut I didn't want for 3 years just because my beard was too long. And as of a couple weeks ago, like a month ago, I got a trimmer, like a proper razor. I threw the 2-blade on there and I started shaving my beard, and I haven't got a haircut in like three months. Look at my hair. I haven't got a haircut in like 3 months because I finally figured out how to shave my beard. I haven't got a haircut in 3 months. Look at this. It's fucking long and gross and crusty, but it kind of looks nice. So I haven't gotten a haircut in 3 months, and it's awesome. I'm going to probably get one soon, but I wanted to grow out my hair my whole life, but I could never grow it out because I was like peer pressured into getting a haircut. And I'm like, man, if I'm gonna pay 3 figures for a haircut, then I might as well get my shit cut. Like, I'm not gonna go sit down in the barbershop, or even worse, have him pull up for 100 and not cut my hair. So yeah, I got social pressured into getting haircuts for a long time that I didn't want. I didn't want the haircut, and I was getting them because I felt bad. I'm like, you're wasting his fucking time. It's like going to a barber and just getting your beard shaved is the equivalent of signing Steph Curry and throwing him in the post. And it's like, what? If you're gonna get him, you might as well fucking use him. Otherwise, what are we doing? You're throwing Steph Curry in the post? What are we doing? And so I had to get over it and had to fix it. But yes, at the age of 24, I finally shaved my beard for the first time, and it fucking looks sharp. You drink caffeine at 3 p.m., 400 milligrams a day, baby. That's how we do it. It's the only way to stay sharp. But, all right, we got a lot to talk about today. Pump.fun is a hackathon in 40 minutes we might watch because fuck it, why not? And your market's pretty slow right now. Crypto's slow, metals are slow, and we're kind of getting bailed out by AI being one of the most exciting things that's happened in a long time. And so naturally, we have no choice but to do the AI.com bubble, to do a bunch. We have a bunch of stuff to talk about. So what I want to start with is it is genuinely impressive how viral Clavicular has gone over the last 3 days. Okay, I made this tweet today. I think it's one of my best tweets ever. Likes disagree, but likes are going to catch up to this one. Okay. Learning how to groom your own hair is life-changing, yet learning how to cook is next for me. That's next. I'm doing one thing at a time. China has an industrial monopoly, but we have Clavicular. And, it brings me to this tweet that I think is important. Okay? And the tweet reads from Roy Lee, who's Cluely, who's kind of, being honest, kind of fell off the map. When's the last time you heard the word Cluely, chat? Genuinely curious. Crazy ascent, but relatively quick fall. Actually, let's start with this real quick. Let's set the tone real quick. Let me set the tone real quick. And we'll go from there.
On your computer for hours researching, creating yourself a regimen. How can I ascend? What can I do? Not worried about what kind of side effects could I get from this? What could go wrong? How about what could go right? For once in your life, just take your risk and dedicate yourself to something, okay? Because you are going to look back on your worthless, miserable life and think, wow, I really ruined everything. I really screwed this up by not improving myself.
Dude, I just gotta be completely honest. The Clavascend is it's been a while since there's been a new prominent internet character that was interesting in the brain rot entertainment world. Who was the last one that had a biblical come up that was exciting and new? Speed? Nick Fuentes, maybe? But I don't think Fuentes is this year. Before, who was 2025? Who was streamer come up of the year 2025? Aiden was like 2020, bro. We haven't had one in a long time. One of the years it'll be threadguy, but we haven't had one in a long time. Alon Pump.fun. That doesn't count. HS. I don't even know who that is. We haven't had one in a long time. And Rakai, yeah, you're right. Actually, I would even go a step further and say that the U.S. culture right now is lacking new main characters. I feel like the tech world hasn't had that many recently as well. We've kind of phased a bunch of them out. Like, we're kind of done with Sam Altman in 2026. Dario from Anthropic has had a crazy rise, but he's sort of quiet. I don't know. I don't see him that much. I don't see him on my TikTok. And Dario from Anthropic, for sure, but he's kind of quiet, all things considered. And crypto, Brian Johnson, decent one, but he's kind of crusty, dude. He's a little crusty. The crypto world hasn't had a new main character founder in a while. Seriously. You could say circa 24 had a lot. Ansem, Murad, Mert had a pretty legendary one. Alon 2025 up into the token, probably. And there's just a dire need and lack of main characters right now. And I think one of the problems is that they rise too hard. They rise too fast and stiff and hard. They rise so fast and they fall just as quick. Like, how many of these guys come? They trade like crypto tokens. Everything in the world trades like crypto tokens, by the way. This is maybe a combo for a different day, but everything in the world moves like crypto tokens, okay? Financial markets move like crypto tokens. Stocks move like crypto tokens. Social trends move like crypto tokens. Culture moves like crypto tokens. Crypto tokens move like crypto tokens. Everything just moves like crypto tokens, because I saw some stat today that like more than half of, what was it, 50% of people over 21 smoke weed every day. Some stupid amount. No one has any attention span. And the internet has just created this. Everything looks like a Pump.fun chart. Okay, everything moves so ridiculous. The weed study's crazy. Somebody pull that if you can. Pull that up. I'll talk about it. Everything moves so fast. Time moves so fast. A day on the internet, it's like a dog year. You know, 1 year in real life is 7 dog years. 1 day on the internet is at least a week in real life. Seriously, a day on the internet is a week in real life. Okay, wait, here's the stat. Look at this shit. 18 million Americans are smoking weed 21 plus days a month. Bro. Chat. Are you smoking weed more than 50% of days? Like, are you smoking weed 4 days a week? Yes or no? I'm doing math right now. GTA. No. A lot of no's. I won't hate on the weed smokers, because I spent 4 years of my life smoking weed every day, basically. I smoked every day for like 3-4 years, basically. So I won't hate on the weed smokers, but it definitely fries your attention. It fries your attention and fucking makes you low T, but we can talk about that later. I won't hate on the weed smokers. I won't. There's not that many of you, but I won't hate on you because I did it. I smoked a lot of weed. I smoked a lot of weed. I started having like chest palpitations, and I had to stop because I was like afraid I was gonna die. But everything in the world, culture moves like crypto charts now. That is, again, why we are uniquely positioned to win on a fast. We're uniquely positioned to win. Is that why you're balding? Low-key, probably. Low-key, probably. Weed is just chopped, bro. Weed was cool when it was anti. Like, when nobody smoked weed, it was cool. You know, I was smoking the yards and shit. But this is why crypto traders are uniquely positioned to move to win in a market where everything is so uncertain and moves like the internet. A day in real life, one day on the internet on AI and Twitter is like a week in real life. Okay? And so this makes you a good trader by understanding how people's attentions move. Okay? How quickly these things ascend and how quickly these things die. So I have a good tweet for you. Roy Lee, Cluey, back to where we started. TG 2026, why wake up in the first? Yeah, weed smokers be like, just woke up, time to make myself retarded before I start the day. So internet meme culture is the only driver of normie opinions. And it is almost entirely decided by clippers. If Sam Altman pulled off clipping correctly, he could completely revert public opinion of AI and likely win the Elon Musk lawsuit off of it. Clav getting frame-mogged pulled 100x the impressions of Anthropic's Super Bowl ad that everyone immediately forgot about. Clav's rise to success was only possible due to clippers. Normies talk about ICE more than Epstein because there are more clips about it. LOL. The modern day circus is not the Super Bowl. It's short form media and clips are on 24/7. You want to know why they're not talking about Epstein files as much as you would think that they should be? It's because you can't talk about Epstein on TikTok. You can't talk about Epstein on TikTok. It's banned. You can't talk about Epstein on TikTok. There's no Epstein coverage on TikTok whatsoever. It's shadow banned, it's deboosted, it's kicked off. The only place you can talk about Epstein, funny enough, is Instagram Reels, which nobody serious watches. Okay? The Instagram Reels demo is 30 plus. TikTok is sub 30. I'm sorry. If you watch Reels, I watch Reels. But if you're an OG Reels watcher, you're over 30. You just are. If you watch more Reels than TikTok, you're over 30. 100%. It's not even close. And the reality situation is what Twitter is to finance, TikTok is to culture. And the Clippers just run the world, bro. They run the world. They run narrative. And it's such a good take that I would guarantee you have seen more clavicular content in the last 2 days than you have Anthropic ads from the Super Bowl. Anthropic spent $10 million per commercial, and Clav is probably spending like 1K per million views. That's like this. That's what it goes for. It's like a million views for a band. Actually, wait. Let me do some math real quick. How many people watch the Super Bowl? Watch this. Okay, the Super Bowl gets 127 million people watch the Super Bowl. The equivalent of the views Anthropic paid $10 million for on their ad, Clavicular would have had to spend $125,000 for. Dude, think about that for a second. That's why it's part of the reason it's so skewed. Think about that. What Anthropic got on, and that's high, by the way. 1K per million views is high. They're not even getting paid that. We're getting paid that on crypto Twitter where views are hard. On TikTok, it's lower. It's like $500 per million views. When Anthropic paid $10 million for 125 million views during the Super Bowl, these Clippers would have to pay like $75K for the same amount of reach. It's crazy. It's distribution. It's crazy. And the upper band of some of these clips is like 10 million views, 50 million views. It's crazy. And for some reason, the like crusty millennial class who just like thinks they get the internet and they don't, doesn't fully understand. It's crusty. It's the new word. It's crusty. And so Eric Zhu from Sperm Racing, who you would think really gets this. Also, I drink too much coffee. I'm a little bit sped up. I gotta slow down. I'm a little bit fucking all over the place today. Eric Zhu quote tweets this and says, nah, clipping mostly just targets little kids, which is the wrong demographic for most people. Strongly disagree. But trends go upstream. Most employed people aren't following Clav's latest clips because they don't doom scroll all day. Little kids and teens find it and talk about it nonstop, and that's how it reaches older people and becomes a trend. He said, I'll bite. Who do you think has older audiences? Andrew Tate and Nick Fuentes, Giga Clippers, or Mr. Beast? Almost no Clippers. How many engineers do you think have seen a motivational IG clip or edit of Elon Musk? Clips are universal across demographics. The skew to young people is mostly because of the content being clipped, not clipping as a concept. And so that's just why I wanted to start stream today. Is everything moves like this. Part of the reason we don't have new main, I guess Timothy Chalamet is a new, like, he's not a tech guy, but he's a new main character that has staying power. Part of the reason nobody has staying power in 2026 is because everyone just moves like this. Everyone moves like Cluely. Cluely's like the raw definition of this shit. Fucking up only, then down only. Everything moves like Cluely. Before we move on, let me ask you this. Have you seen a clavicular clip in the last 48 hours? Did I already ask that? Have you seen a clavicular clip in the last 48 hours? Yes or no? Yeah. There's not one person that has it. Every single person here knows who he is. That's insane. Every single person here knows who he is. That's insane. And you want something funny? I need to find the stat. I actually didn't prep this. I forgot to talk about this on the stream. But the ASU president who frame mugged clavicular and got super famous overnight, the first thing that he did was launch a Pump.fun stream. He had like 100 viewers. But the ASU frat leader who frame mugged clavicular, the first thing he did with his fame is launch a Pump.fun. Think about that. Crypto has just infiltrated. Terrible onboarding, does nothing for anyone. There's no money to be made there. I think it was a 200K topper. What's the ticker? What's the ticker called? Is it frame mogger? What's it called? I wasn't paying attention until this morning. Framed? That's pretty good. There it is. Look. Top wick 230K. ASU frat leader, bro. It's not this? Wait. Oh, it's this. Yeah, it's okay, it's this. I mean, not bad. Not bad, right? 300 something K. This is insane. Not bad, bro. It's crazy. This guy overnight becomes like the most famous person in the world. I mean, that's generous, but he becomes the most viral person in the world for like a day. And the first thing they do is fucking launch a Pump.fun. Makes 10K in fees. Little 10K in fees. Clean. Is it good for the world? No. Is it good for culture? No. But the destigmatization, most famous person in the world, relax, okay? Fucking relax. You know what I meant. But the great destigmatization of crypto is definitely happening. The great destigmatization, okay? Now, while crypto is relatively stagnant, where we are going to be able to use our skills, chat, where we are going to use our skills is what's happening in AI right now. And my God, it is moving fast. What's happening in AI right now. And so I want to start the stream and I want to read you this like relatively eerie. Can I read you like an eerie excerpt? It's a little like uncomfortable. Honestly, it's a little uncomfortable. I'm gonna be completely honest. You down to like get a little uncomfortable and fucking freaking weird? Y'all want to get a little uncomfortable on stream real quick? Or nah? You cool with that? Like a little uncomfy? A little like uncomfortable? Okay, watch this. Watch this. So this Marinak is, let me search this real quick. Let me just make sure I have this right. I believe, okay, so Marinak Sharma is the head of Anthropic's, which is Claude, Safeguard research team. Okay, so basically, Robin is getting cooked right now. Yeah, Robin has been getting cooked, bro. I'm like avoiding the market for the moment because it's not great. I'm avoiding the market right now, and this is relatively important. Okay, this person that resigned is the head of safety at Anthropic, which is Claude. Is their job. So their job is to make sure that we don't live in a Terminator world and get killed by robots. That's like their sole job at Anthropic, is to make sure we don't all die. The AI doesn't get out, have a fucking Terminator body and kill everyone. Okay, that's their job. And the person whose job is to make sure AI doesn't become Terminator and kill everybody just resigned. Okay? And this is the post. And it reads, I've decided to leave Anthropic. Thank you. There is so much here that inspires and has inspired me. To name some of these things: a sincere desire and drive to show up in such a challenging situation and inspire to contribute in an impactful and high integrity way. A willingness to make difficult decisions and stand for what is good. I've achieved what I wanted here. I arrived in San Francisco 2 years ago, having wrapped up my PhD and wanting to contribute to AI safety. Again, the head of safety at Claude. I feel lucky to have been able to contribute what I have here, understanding AI and its causes. And writing one of the first AI safety cases. I'm especially proud of my recent efforts to help us live our values via internal transparency mechanisms. Thank you for our trust. Here's the quote. Nevertheless, it is clear to me that the time has come to move on. I continuously find myself reckoning with our situation. The world is in peril. Head of safety at Anthropic, by the way, has stared into the fucking Palantir. The world is in peril. And not just from AI or bioweapons, but from a whole series of interconnected crises unfolding in this very moment. We appear to be approaching a threshold where our wisdom must grow in equal measure to our capacity to affect the world, lest we face the consequences. Moreover, throughout my time here, I've repeatedly seen how hard it is to truly let our values govern our actions. Brother, I've seen this within myself, within the organization, where we constantly face pressures to set aside what matters most and throughout broader society too. It is through holding the situation and listening as best I can that what I must do becomes clear. I want to contribute in a way that feels fully in my integrity and that allows me to bring to bear more of my particularities. I want to explore the questions that feel truly essential to me, the questions that David White would say have no right to go away. I'm going to dedicate my life to poetry, is how this ends. And so the head of safety at Anthropic announced that they are leaving because the world is, quote, in peril. And throughout their time here, he has repeatedly seen how hard it is to let their values govern their actions. And so basically what this means is that the person that is the closest to what's happening at Claude is fucking terrified of what he's seen and what's coming and is getting out while he can, is what that reads. And so the one thing I'm going to say regarding AI is topped, that I don't think during the dot-com bubble, executives of AOL and Cisco were crashing out on Twitter saying that the world is in peril and they have to leave while they can. I don't really think that was happening. Like, based on my findings, when the dot-com bubble and the NASDAQ was trading at 200x PE, I don't really think that the executives at these internet companies that were the closest to the internet were saying that this is going to destroy the world and it's too powerful and it's moving so fast that we are picking growth over morals. And I have to go and dedicate my life to poetry, brother. That's not like I'm going to go study philosophy or study history or I want to be a chemist. I'm going to go and the remote Swiss Alps and write poetry for the rest of my life to maybe dedicate to the world and help the world. I don't think that was happening in the dot-com bubble, to be completely honest with you. That's a little bit jarring. And it's only in AI, by the way, that you have these super dramatic exits. Everyone that exits an AI lab basically says something along the lines of, the world is ending, this is too powerful, I want out. It's what they all say. I think 4 or 5 of the 10 co-founders of XAI said it. I remember Nikita Beer not that long ago said they were building the Antichrist. And yeah, like, it's probably bearish. This is basically the take. Is AI lab executives leaving and saying that the world is in peril is probably bearish for civilization, but really bullish markets short term. Obviously, right? It's like we have something so powerful that I have to run for the fucking hills and not look back. It's got to be bullish markets. It means we're not top. It means we're not topped, right? The world is in peril, and you must dedicate your life for the good of society to write poetry to maybe influence the next generation and save what's happening. You get the feeling that the people closest to this thing don't fucking think we're topped. You get that feeling, okay? And so it's probably bearish civilization and bullish markets. Bullish Anthropic revenue, I would say, right? Bullish Opus 4.7 is what you have to say. And so, someone in chat, go read the Gospels, people. It's not too late. Jesus. It's like, we'll get to the dot-com bubble in a little bit here, but you just get the feeling, okay, all the speculators, like Michael Burry, okay, Michael Burry is like, markets are too hot, AI companies are overvalued, the market's gonna collapse, okay? And then head of AI safety at Anthropic is like, I stared into the Palantir, the world and society, civilization as we know it, is in peril. I must run for the hills, write poetry, and maybe give a semblance of hope to the next generation to save them from what's coming. Who do I trust more? The guy that once said houses were too expensive, or the people that are literally building it? I don't know. It's just like an interesting take. And so something that's exciting here about what's happening in AI is that I kind of think Jesus is the truth, the way, and the life. I mean, dude, my chat right now is getting fucking spiritual, lyrical. It's like, yeah, people are, it's hard to get spiritual, it's hard to get existential about the price of an apartment, you know? I don't think it's hard to get spiritual about the price of an apartment building, okay? It's like, yeah, single family homes too expensive. I'm singing gospel. But it's just hard, you know? I'll tell you what. It's hard to get religious about pets.com. Okay? The guy that made pets.com wasn't saying the world was in peril because we're worth too much money. I just leave it at that. Is where I'll leave it. But so this brings us to one of the most interesting stories that's happening in AI before we talk about crypto. And man, it fires me up because it's unfortunate that you can't invest directly in Anthropic, OpenAI, all of these things, but it is really fortunate that there is this budding ecosystem around it that is moving really fast. There's a budding eco that is moving really fast and aggressively. And when you see stories like this, it confirms to you that it's happening. And so this is one of the craziest things I've read in a long time, okay? Everyone knows what Clawbot is. OpenClaw, at least you've heard of it. Answer this just so I can get a gauge. Now that we're a couple weeks into this thing, do you have a Clawbot set up, OpenClaw, yes or no? Clawbot on your Mac Mini, your laptop, whatever. Do you have it running? Do you have a Clawbot set up, yes or no? Okay, so a lot of you know. A lot of you know. There's this guy. His name is Michael Chomsky. Okay, he doesn't follow me, and he has 8,000 followers. Okay, and Michael Chomsky has built an 8-figure business, and the only thing that Michael Chomsky does at this company is set up people's Clawbot. That's all he does is set up people's Clawbot. You book him, he gets on a meeting with you, and he walks you through how to set it up. Or if you really got it like that, and you're one of these, you're Chamoth, you fly him out, he comes to your house, he has a package that has the Mac Mini, he brings it all. He brings a Mac Mini, a monitor, a keyboard, a mouse, sets the whole thing up at your house, and gets you connected and gets this thing running for you. Okay? And it's doing 8 figures a year annualized. That's the only thing he does at this company. Okay? And you see things like this, and you can't help but think budding ecosystem. It reminds me very much of the 2021 NFT days when there were people that were making multi 6 figures, and the only thing they did was set up NFT Discord servers. That's all I did. Is you would hire these people, they would come in, they would set up your Discord server, they would add perms, they would add security locks, they would add channels, they would add whatever you wanted, and you would pay them 50 bands. And you're like, 50K for a Discord server. It's like, well, I just made $10 million on a mint, and I need that shit right now. All you would do. That's all it was. That's all it was. And so, yes, he is going to get one-shotted when they integrate an easier setup or whatever. But the point is that It's hard to price the value creation explosion that will result from OpenClaw being open source. It's kind of unreal. I mean, here's a frank tweet. It's the best tech experience I've had in over a decade of using the internet. Sounds like a hyperbole, but it is insane to use a piece of software that tangibly gets better as you use it. I think this experience will scale to literally billions of users. The fact that it's open source, though, means that there won't be one company that necessarily dominates this. I think this is just how all new software will be made. Self-improving, Claudebot-inspired agents. So at the earliest stages right now, I believe the next billion-dollar applications are being started and built right now. And so it brings us to this really unique spot in that I'm excited about, which is that Peter Steinberg takes Opus 4.6 and 4.5, I guess, when he launched it in Claude Code, and he launches this open source tech, which is basically a wrapper on top of Claude Code using Opus 4.5 that can do a plethora of things that Claude Code on its own can't do, right? And this is how it grows. Look at this chart. Look at this fucking chart for a second. Look at this chart. Look at this. This is GitHub stars on this thing. Look at this thing grow. This is up, I mean, it's just up only. I don't even like know what a GitHub star is. 200,000 GitHub stars. I don't even like know what that means, but it's up only. Okay, just like taking the tech world by storm. And there's just, I don't know, there's just a budding ecosystem that's being built around Claude Code and these AI tools right now. But the thing about it is, GitHub version of likes, there you go. The thing about it is, it's really hard to monetize these things. Like, I would pay for it. I would definitely pay for it. But it's not easy. It's really not that hard to monetize. But one, obviously crypto is going to be the easiest way to monetize software on the internet. But two, is it's pretty obvious if we've paid any attention to this whatsoever, which I would argue we've paid extreme amounts of attention to this. I mean, this has been one of the only things we've talked about for the last 2 weeks. It's taken over the world. Only our little bubble knows about it. And you could assume that if this one basically random guy, I mean, I think he's a pretty talented dev, but he's basically just some guy, Peter Steinberg, codes this open source, OpenClaw tool and launches it, and it has hundreds of thousands of users in basically a day because of how powerful the internet is right now. You could basically assume that there's going to be a lot of these, like a lot of people that are launching tools on top of the AI models that are going extremely viral. And they will probably be getting vamped all the time. They'll probably be getting replaced all the time. But what we're really good at is making money on virality. And so there wasn't a direct trade to make on this. There was a token that I think went to, I don't know, a couple 10, 20, 30 mil maybe. And he came out and said, hey, I fucking hate crypto. You guys are so annoying. But it's the most interesting, I don't know. It's like you combine the virality of OpenClaw with the feeling of Anthropic executive leaves and says that the world is in peril. And the only assumption that you can make really is that this thing is going to get way bigger. It's the only assumption you can really make, right? If we're being honest. The only assumption you can make is that there's going to be way more OpenClaws. There's going to be way more Molt books. There's going to be way more Ralph Wiggum. There's just going to be like an infinite amount of these. And I don't really know how you could have an assumption that's different than that. I don't really think that there is a way to make an assumption that's different than that. And so I have this quote tweet here. And when's the last time you read poetry? I've read like Dr. Seuss and shit. Like back in the day, I don't know, forever. Just spoke with a couple MDs at a large institutional private equity fund. They still believe that Claude is a fad and it will take decades before any real companies adopt them. Currently only subscribe to a ChatGPT corporate account at work. Mentioned multiple times that absolutely nothing has changed about their workflow since AI was released in 2022. Crazy. Just goes to show that this app is an absolute bubble and no one outside of here is really prepared for what's coming. I mean, one of two things is true, okay? Either we are in a bubble, these tools are not that good and we're drinking the Kool-Aid, or these tools are incredible and the world isn't really ready for what's coming and there's more gas to blow here. I'm in the camp right now. I'm going to be completely honest that this time is different. And we're going to get to the dot-com bubble in a little bit, but I'm of the take that this time is different. And I think, let me ask you this, chat. If you've used OpenClaw, what do you think? I'm going to watch the Pump.fun thing in a second. I just want to close on this point and move on. We'll talk about crypto now. If you've used OpenClaw, what do you think, honestly? Like, is this time different, yes or no? Because it's feeling like, bro, if you've used it, it fucking fucks you up, man. I'm going to just be honest. It fucking does. It overtakes everything. I think it's nutty and I've never coded anything in my life. Yeah. It lacks privacy. Yeah, the whole world lacks privacy though, you know? Def great takes though, excited to see. Yeah, it's not super user friendly. My most frequent use case is transcribing our streams and transcribing content that's similar to what we're doing. All right, should we watch this? Switch it up 180 and go crypto. Do you want to watch this? Yes or no? Do you want to watch this fucking Pump.fun stream? It's a lot. It's a lot. Let's do it. Who is this? How many viewers does this have? 700. Jesus. All right, wait. I'm gonna use this time to go pee. Give me a second. I'll be back in 30 seconds. I'll leave it on though, so if he fucking.
All right, welcome everyone. Just a couple minutes, and we're
also Robinhood earnings are live. We'll talk about that after.
Welcome to Draper TV.
All right, BRB. We'll watch it right when I come back.
All right, here we go. Just letting people.
All right, he's done. Tim Draper's on.
Tim Draper. Here we go. And we got Alon here. Amazing.
Hey, terrific. Alon, I like your sunglasses. You're looking sharp.
I appreciate that.
I am here and I've got my crystal ball just in case people are interested. So I'm seeing the future very clearly and I'm looking forward to this. This is going to be fun.
Yeah, this is very exciting. It's been a long time in the making. I'm very glad that we finally were able to make this happen.
Terrific. Have we started? Do we have an audience yet?
We're live. We have an audience. Just about 1,000 people now in the room on Pump. I don't know what's the record for the amount of people joining a Pump stream. I don't know, maybe you have the data, but we have to try and beat it.
Yeah, that's actually a great question. I think it's in the couple thousand. Yeah, would be interesting to see.
Okay, sweet. So I'll kick us off, everyone. My name is Maxime Bucaille. I'm a principal investor at Draper Associates, where I lead a lot of our crypto efforts. And today
we haven't heard from Alon in like forever.
Conversation between
Tim I don't know how long we're gonna watch
my
this.
Boss, the head of Draper TV and Draper Associates. Tim is probably one of Silicon Valley's most influential investor. He's been doing it for the past 40 years and backed some of the world's most transforming companies such as Tesla, Baidu, SpaceX, Hotmail, Robinhood, always as almost a first investor, which I think makes a massive difference. But he's also one of the very first large venture capitalists to really make a strong bet on crypto and Bitcoin and decentralization overall.
What's the market cap of the coin?
To cover that story together. And on top, we have Mr. Alon Cohen, who's the founder of Pump. As most of the audience probably knows, Pump is this amazing platform, one of the leading launchpad in the space that really took the
overlay is
industry
crazy
by storm last year. And it's probably one of the world's fastest growing company, reaching $1 billion or so of profit in just the span of 2 years. So it's really been amazing to see their progress and the impact they had on the industry. And I think today is an amazing opportunity
He looks like a school
to
principal.
talk about the venture landscape, the way it's changed over the years. Tim has been able to experience that through decades, as he's a third generation venture capitalist. His dad was the first VC. His granddad was the first VC. His dad was a pioneer venture capitalist, and
His granddad was the first VC, like ever.
And I think what's really interesting with Alon and Pump is that they're kind of trying to challenge the status quo.
What do you mean the first VC?
We see every day now companies finding new ways to raise money and using platforms such as Pump to do so. They just announced their hackathon, in which they'll be investing over $3 million in startups. So it's really exciting to see what's going to come out of it. With Tim at Draper Associates, he's trying different ways and experiments with ways to fund startups. So I think it's going to make for a really exciting conversation. So I'll just start with what are you both looking to get out of this conversation? It's really amazing to have you both, and I'll let you take it over.
Well, first, I'd like to really thank Alon. This is, he's kind of shown light on what could be a new model for venture capital, a new way of starting a business, where you issue a token, and then that token becomes more valuable the more interest people have in it. And so it's a different kind of value creation, but it's very clear that it is a type of value creation. So I'm really thrilled that he's taken the leadership position there and really opening things up for would-be entrepreneurs to try a different model. We've tried a lot of different models.
Who's
over
Maxine?
the years. One of our missions in life has always been to spread entrepreneurship and venture capital around the world.
Missions in life.
And part of that is to allow the individual investor to invest and allow anyone to be an entrepreneur, whoever they may be. So
what are the odds he asked about the
airdrop?
airdrop?
This, and I like that it's called Pump.fun, because I like fun, and I think we should keep building things that are fun.
Did he plan that?
All the greatest companies in the world, all the greatest adventures in the world, they were all started with fun. Anyway, I'm very happy to be here and thrilled to have Alon along. Go ahead, Alon.
Yeah, I really appreciate those words, Tim. It's obviously a massive honor having you on our platform. I think first and foremost,
he's been holding that one in for a while.
To our user base, to all the projects.
Give us some juice, Alon. Come on, bro.
That even now, despite market conditions in crypto, there's so much interest and excitement in this space coming from names that have
Tell me if you hate this. You want me to turn it off, by the way.
Surmounted and have already achieved so much, not just within crypto, but in so many other areas. So I thank you guys for doing this. For believing in our ecosystem and so on and so forth. I personally really look forward to hearing some of the startup use some of those, hearing from you and seeing how we can use some of those insights from all those years investing and applying those to this completely new model.
I have met Alon, 2024, long time ago.
Startup building.
I was a young bull.
And entrepreneurship.
Yeah, I think it's great. At Meet the Drapers, which I guess you guys are now going to be partners with us on, and so you'll be a part of it. And I hope you'll join us as a guest judge. And I guess you can wear this same outfit that you got on now. But anyway, we're thrilled to have you be a part of that. And we love the idea that we can spread. I mean, I guess 300 million people see that show and or have access to it, and about 20 million each time watch it.
You're talking about?
And it's a way to spread the good word around. Now we can spread the good word around that they can get venture money, but they can also potentially create a token. And that's where I think you've hit on a wire.
What is this? Meet the Drapers?
Very electric. So really exciting to be a part of this with you and to do this with you, and we'll have to give it a shot, see how it goes. I've been a big fan of tokens ever since I bought all that Bitcoin, and I pretty much am a
Shark Tank,
believer
but for
in
the
what you're
Draper
doing. So,
family.
Yeah, maybe Tim, I think it would be super interesting for the audience of Pump, who some of them might know exactly who you are, to give a bit of a sense of what brought you to Bitcoin, crypto, decentralized network. What has been your North Star, the inception story, and why you're still so fascinated about it today, and promoting freedom and entrepreneurship in that way.
It's gonna be like a
oh,
10
this
interview.
one's for me or for Alon?
For you.
Okay. So I met this guy from Korea. It was like 2003. And everybody in Korea was playing this game, Lineage. And that game was so important to everybody in Korea that they were living a life in the real world, but they were also living this life in this virtual world. And the guy I met said, he was a very successful businessman. He said, hey, I'm just, I play this game at night, but during the day I've got to go to work. So I hired a guy to be my avatar during the day. And I thought, whoa, this is really important to you. And he said, yeah. And I bought my son a sword for $40. And I was thinking, what are you talking about? He said,
Thanks for the gift.
It's just pixels on the screen. It's a virtual sword. So I started to think virtual sword, real money, virtual product, we might have virtual money. So I've been thinking about digital money for many, many years before I saw Bitcoin. And when Bitcoin came out, I thought, wow, somebody really thought about this. They created in software, a trusted third party. They created a blockchain that could be backed out if anybody violated.
I'm not gonna lie, this is insufferable.
They created
I'm dying.
A new way of
where are the
thinking
projects
about it, using energy to mine. So it actually kind of created a value to a Bitcoin. And so I was all excited about it. And then I bought a bunch, $250,000 worth. I don't know where it all went, but Bitcoin at the time was $6 a Bitcoin. And then we kind of lost that all to Mt. Gox. And I thought, oh, too bad. That was the end of a really good experiment. But it wasn't the end. All of a sudden, Bitcoin dropped 15%, and then it was up after that. And I thought, wow, this Mt. Gox had, disappeared a whole bunch of money. That was the one trusted place to trade your Bitcoin. And I thought, somebody really needs this. This is really important. And that's where I learned it's sort of a peer-to-peer system. And that
you're telling me this guy has $3 billion and his token trades at 2 mil?
Than it was being done through.
Why don't you fucking buy some, bro?
Big companies needed to hire people that didn't have bank accounts. This was a great way to pay them. And these whole ecosystems were being created in places where nobody had a bank account. And so
2 billionaires on the call, by the way,
an extra 2 billion people into the world economy. And I thought, wow, this is really important. And so I started buying more and more and more. And then this big auction came up. And I think I was the only bidder who bid above market. I think everybody else bid
you got this
below
one
market,
story,
thinking
bro.
they get a deal
The
on
one
high
story.
volume. And at first I thought,
so
okay,
one trade.
I'm so smart. I bought, above market, and I got one trade, which was more than I really wanted. And then immediately the market went from 632 down to 180. And I didn't look too smart, but I kept thinking of those people. And
Bro got one story, bro.
Created. And I realized that was the most important thing. And eventually people would come to terms with it, and Bitcoin would be much more valuable. That's when I made that prediction. I said, Bitcoin will be $10,000 in 3 years. And I did it on air. And the woman.
Got one story, bro.
That's pretty funny. And then 3 years later, almost to the day, Bitcoin hit 10,000 from 180 to 10,000. And And then they thought I was prescient and, using my crystal ball to predict the price. And it turned out that no, I wasn't able to predict the rest of it because I didn't realize that we would have a government here in the U.S. that was so against.
TG explained Trump coin to his kids.
So protective of
this is how we talk about NFT season, bro.
That they really weren't allowing anything to happen. Now we've got a government that is much more. It's funny, I want to say the word progressive, but that isn't their definition of progressive. Yeah, they love progress, and they are encouraging people to experiment, like what Elon is doing. And so I'm quite excited about that. I think that is one of the things that will make continues to make the American dream, that people can rise from the ashes and become great. And that's great. So anyway, that's my Bitcoin story. It's decentralized. It's
we know
open,
the story,
it's transparent. It keeps.
We've heard it. We know the story, bro.
Bookkeeper. Don't need a tax lawyer. I don't need tax collectors.
We know the story,
it
bro.
It can all be on the blockchain.
And also, if you buy the top and it goes down 75%, if you wait long enough and have enough faith, it always comes back high. That's an amazing story. I think
it does have that weird cyclical thing because of the halvings. They used to be called halvenings, and that was kind of more mystical. But now it's the halvings, and each halving, it goes, and it keeps going up.
Maybe Alon, that would be super cool to hear from you. Probably didn't buy Bitcoin back in 2011, or maybe you did, but
I did not.
What are you? What's the goal today? Maybe give us the story of Pump over the last year and where you're going in your next phase. I think it's exactly what blockchain technologies can enable. Tim was talking about not having accountants, not having lawyers. When we try to invest, after Tim bought Bitcoin, he's invested in over 100 crypto companies. We try to embed blockchains in a lot of our workflows.
Let me tell it,
we
bro.
don't pay our taxes with Bitcoin. We don't want lawyers. We want smart contracts. So where are you taking this next wave for Pump.fun? And maybe what was the origin story of it from you?
Shaq gotta be dying. Token dumping.
I'll keep it short and sweet, since I think a large portion of our user base
He's
has
a
already
ball
heard it.
bro.
But I wasn't nearly as early to crypto as Tim, unfortunately. I kind of got into the space at around 2020, 2021. 2021 was when I started really getting into it. Not just from a trading perspective, trading majors, but also being on chain and trading the different coins, meme coins, utility tokens, whether on Ethereum or Binance Smart Chain, like all those different areas, trading perps, trying out all these different things, and ultimately I also started doing. I started working in the crypto space as well, and similarly for my co-founders. Now, fast forward a couple of years later,
bro, this chat is
we
nuts.
were all kind of working in the space. The market basically started collapsing. FTX collapsed.
They should have bag work in 2026.
What we were working on at the time, I was working at an NFT platform, NFT perps platform, that ended up, doing too well as a result of the market collapsing and NFTs not doing as well anymore. And same kind of went for my future co-founders. We basically decided that now was like the best time to start building and trying to
it was like an NFT marketplace or something. NFT like lending, I think they were working on
our own startup. So
I don't remember exactly.
Like
It's
the right
story
time.
before.
And then we just started messing around. We built NFT platforms, social fi platforms. We built in all these different areas of crypto, and nothing really succeeded. I think it was at least a year of us just trying and failing.
Moving like
but each time we iterated, we got a little bit better at our craft. Got closer to the user, got more experience, and ultimately we discovered Solana when people started trading meme coins on there. Now we were pretty experienced trading meme coins on different blockchains, but we were new to Solana.
Okay, I want to leave, but then
I
feel like every second I feel like they're about to start.
There's something special about it.
And so if we leave, it's like, fuck, I want to hear the next.
So far ahead of of other platforms, other blockchains. But at the same time, we still felt very early. And there are significant challenges that the market faced as well, which we felt like we could fix. It wasn't safe. A lot of users were getting scammed to the tune of millions and millions of dollars. There was a clear issue, a UX problem of creating a token. It was so difficult. It was so complicated, and a wide array of other issues that we tried to elegantly solve with Pump.fun's mechanism. So we launched it. It's only been 2 years since we launched the platform, and
wow,
I guess the rest is history.
2 years.
In terms of some of the focus areas for the platform moving forward, I think one of the biggest surprises that we've encountered since launching the platform is all the different kinds of use cases that people have come up with for tokenization. Obviously, we started off with meme coins, but very, very quickly, people started doing a whole different range of other things using the tokens. And one of the biggest use cases has been startups actually leveraging the tokens, not just to get some funding, but to get distribution and reward their earliest users. Because it creates this really interesting dynamic where if you as a user are early to the brand that you're using,
this is just
or
slop,
or whatnot,
man.
you can profit on it by actually taking a position in that platform's token. So it's as early as November, October of 2024 when the infamous so-called AI season got started, and I think that's what kind of kickstarted a lot of I guess activity and brought a lot of people to the space and a lot of excitement about building startups on Pump.fun as well as on Solana. So today, that is one thing that we wanted to build in-house. We wanted to make it more sustainable. We wanted to make it bigger and better. And we're starting that off. We're kicking that off with our hackathon. But there's so much more to come, and there's so many interesting things that are happening on chain today. So we've got we have startups building on chain, different kinds of startups, crypto startups, AI startups, but beyond just actual humans building startups, we're also seeing AI agents on chain. And that's also a really interesting area that we've been looking into. So to keep things short, this is a very, the startup side of things, so startup tokenization is definitely a major area of focus for us as a launchpad. Besides that, we're also continuing to put a lot of resources into the interfaces by which our users interact with the platform. And the two main initiatives there are our trading terminal mainly.
He's got like
for
5-10
power
minutes,
users,
so we
as
gotta
well
go.
as our mobile app, which is more so catered towards retail users. But I'm very excited for what's to come, and try and bringing all these startups as well as continuing to put more focus and resources within the meme coin space that brought us to where we are today.
Yeah, so you built this
It's
really powerful.
We are using it in a little bit of a different way, so you can kind of put this into your hat. We're looking at it as a fan club. I don't own any Draper coin or whatever they're trading out there. So I wasn't really thinking in terms of it being a moneymaker, but it was a way to connect with our bigger fans. And so that was kind of the way we were looking at it. So, Taylor
He cut him off to say that?
Use it that way too.
Bro, he cut someone
Let's
off
see.
to say that?
You built this great machine, Alon, where now creating a coin, you're launching a project, you create a coin, you don't even need to necessarily take a large stake in it. Just by the virality that your project stakes, the coin goes up and down, users generate fees. What have you seen maybe, or what do you look for in the hackathon that you're going to be doing?
Just start it, twin.
extremely well,
Bro, he just said he knows nothing
on
about the
Pump, and why it would
coin.
make sense to have a Pump coin. I saw, for example, unfortunately it was not on Pump, but the mold book scene that happened two weeks ago when everybody started talking about mold book, and that coin just went to 100 million in like less than 24 hours, and the founder made $3 million for himself, not even buying or selling, just earning the fees of the virality of it. So what would be the kind of companies you look for in the hackathon?
21 mil, bro.
What do you think tends to do well or not so well on Pump?
Yeah, absolutely. Great question. I think Obviously, there's
1,200 people watching
some
this.
different areas that are getting more and more attention, and our users
Dude,
are looking for those kinds.
They got to start in 5 minutes. So I gotta go.
Kinds of products accordingly. Like, you know, AI and AI agents are definitely very hot right now, and I'm personally very bullish on that entire direction because crypto unlocks a totally new layer of interaction between these agents. It allows them to unlock so many more exciting things. So that's definitely one area. But I definitely wouldn't say that there's one specific thing that you need to be building. We've seen really, I mean, and honestly, you guys are going to see by the kinds of projects that we've invited to pitch later.
Do we know who's
there's
invited?
So many different kinds of angles that you can take here. The most important thing, and the reason why we decided to call this hackathon the Build in Public Hackathon, is that a major reason for why tokenizing on Pump as an early stage startup makes so much sense is because it gives you so much
Y'all
distribution.
think Draper
But
got water in
order
there?
to
Or
actually
no?
get those benefits.
More likely that's
we
a
found
Tito's
that
or a
the
water.
more you kind of interact with users, the more you kind of communicate and put yourself out there, the higher likelihood that you're going to get that distribution, the higher likelihood that people are actually going to believe in your project, try it out, and ultimately see success in it. So building in public is something that we've seen. You know, we've seen it work before.
Got the
and
walk in there.
We're starting to see it work with some of the
He's
projects
up in a
that are
dot!
being considered for actually winning the hackathon.
Nice, excellent. So, you know,
That's fun. So how long do you give them? You say it's got to be 72 hours, or do you say 6 months? How long before they have to present? And then is the judgment based on their token, a token they create, or is the judgment like, are they going to come to you and then you're going to?
Did no one give this
Yeah,
guy
that's
a
really good question.
primer?
So we announced this a few weeks ago.
He don't even know what he's here
The
for.
deadline for submissions is in around a week, more or less. In order to be eligible, you will have needed to launch a token, and the basic idea is that, you know, the token is definitely a signal, right? That's kind of the point of the mechanism to some degree, is that there is market validation that you receive if your project is working or if people are excited in what it is that you're building. But it's you know, the way that these startups are assessed is it's a more holistic process. It's not just the token price or the price action. There's obviously a lot of noise in that to some degree, but it's also what we've seen from the team in terms of their application, in terms of the long-term vision. It's a wide variety of factors, and I think we also announced that by next week we will have announced the first winner at the very least. But, you know, hopefully within the coming weeks and months we will have announced some of the other winners as well. It's a total of 12 winners.
Oh, that's great. So do they each get, what does that turn out to be? $250,000?
Dude.
Yep.
And then is that in free of charge, or is it equity, or is it tokens, or how are you? What's the quid pro quo? What do you get back?
Yeah, great question. It's an investment. First and foremost, we care about a token investment because, you know, we want to be bullish on the token, so to speak. Given where, I mean, we're also hosting a wide variety, not just of startups in the US, for instance, but all over the world. And, you know, we might be potentially looking at some other.
Bro, Tim did not read the fucking one sheet, bro.
Is the main interest for us.
Dog, open your email.
So yeah.
So you'll buy their tokens
Jeez,
with the
Tim?
$50,000?
Read the fucking one pager,
The
man.
process would be to buy directly.
It's like we could have been done with this
over the
20
counter.
minutes ago. Asking
So
fucking
they get that capital and they can
clarifying
they can use that
questions.
for
It's like,
funding,
dude,
for, you know,
read your
funding
fucking
growth
email.
and whatnot. Yeah.
Cool model. Very simple. I like it.
Yeah,
Get this brother a Claude bot.
Seeing who's gonna end up winning the whole thing.
All right, let's start.
Can we apply with Draper TV? We launched on Pump, you know. Maybe, Tim, it would be fun for you to give a bit of a sense of, you said it's more like a fan club, and it's amazing to be able to connect with a new audience. We've also released a couple prizes with they can interact directly in our ecosystem if you hold the Draper token and interact with it. What's been the fun thing about joining the platform for you, Tim? Putting the media out there, where do you see that it can evolve the way we invest in startups or look at different companies or taking hints from the public to interact with the way we do investments.
Well, I'm actually looking forward to seeing how that evolves as we work together. But the first time where I just said I had always wanted the show to be live because I noticed that the editing cut out all the goofy things, all the fun, crazy things that I said, things I said by mistake or whatever.
I wish this shit was edited, Tim.
And I wanted to make sure those were in. And,
Why?
My sister is hilarious.
Why would you want to make sure of that?
Hilarious.
Why?
Sometimes, our guest judges are really extraordinary.
Why?
They come in and do really amazing things. And somehow that's a lot of that extraordinary gets cut out. So,
dude, that was the longest 5 episodes of my life.
You made it so that we did our first live episode.
It was a mistake.
And
it was a mistake.
I think it worked out really well.
It did not.
2 hours.
It's not worked out well.
We'll eventually cut it down to the 45 minutes or whatever. But I think the people who saw it live just loved it.
No, I didn't.
And we got real feedback from
Tim, they don't love it.
followers.
They don't love it. They do not love it. Nobody loves it.
From our audience,
Tim.
it's hard to get feedback. Maybe it'll show up on a Twitter feed or it'll show up on a YouTube
I have to
feed
leave,
or
right?
something. But with you, that was in real time. We were getting real time comments, and I think that was exciting. I think it was fun. Just changed the way I was thinking about things. The other way it might change is,
all right.
I know we'll probably do this.
If they ask one more question, I have to go. If the next question is starting, then we'll do it.
Fun episode is that we'll have entrepreneurs that are not raising capital.
Entrepreneurs
raising capital on tokens, and I think when we do that, I think we're going to all learn a whole bunch. I think that'll be great. A whole new way of financing companies.
I feel like I'm gonna throw up.
Through a show that reaches.
Dude, when did this start? It's been like 30 minutes.
This could be a really big deal.
Yeah, it's definitely super, super exciting. And that was a super interesting kind of little backstory, and it kind of shows some of the benefits that come with launching the token beyond the financial, right? You get instant validation, whether positive or negative. You get a lot of feedback in real time, and that allows you to iterate faster than in other areas where, especially with and I think this is somewhat of a critique of VCs and
no one even tweeting about it, bro.
They have their opinions. It's a bit of a people criticize and say that there's a bit of a VC sort of circle jerk, and sometimes that does happen. But the market is free and open, and VCs can participate, but it's not just them. It's the entire internet that is participating. And so I feel like you receive the most brutal, honest feedback at all times. And, there's some negatives to that. and I myself, Pump has a token out there, and that's taught me a lot of lessons.
Opal, wow, this is boring.
But ultimately, I think it's for the better. And long term, it allows us
Next question, or I'm leaving.
The best version of ourselves.
Yeah, and I've always thought of criticism as a show of love, so they care about it enough to criticize. So
technically not a question.
A positive in one way or another. Yeah, I think, and if you get it in real time, it's like, okay, I can ignore it, or I can adjust, or I can mention it on the air.
Next slide.
And all those things are really exciting.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, guys, I think we can be ready to bring on, we have 4 teams that are here. They're going to go pitching. They have decks, 8 minutes. We can ask them anything we want, interrupt them. Does that sound good to bring them on now?
8 minutes.
Sure. Sounds great.
So the first team we have on is Opal. I'll bring them onto the stage now.
Hello. Hello, everyone.
Oh, there you are.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey there, head ass boy.
Terrific. Can we give them the biggest part of the screen?
Let me try to work.
Oh, hey, you head ass. Hey, you intro.
Okay, go ahead. Fire when
Yeah.
ready.
Oh wait, sorry. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, so we're Opal, and basically we're bringing AI to gaming essentially.
Yeah. We're basically
Wait, so
putting
the AIs are going to play each other in the game? and you guys sit back and
No!
watch?
Oh no. We're trying to give you an internet friend that you can do anything with, including playing games, talking to them, and
Oh, so it's you playing with an AI,
Shut the fuck!
and then the AI
Ain't
keeps
even
it
talked
about your
yet.
level.
yeah. We're trying to get to that point. Yeah. So here's some background. Let's introduce yourself.
BBFP,
I'm
thanks for the
Josh.
gifted.
I'm a second year in college.
And yeah, I'm Steven. I'm also a second year in college.
We do a lot of hackathons. This pump hackathon is particularly appealing to us because of not only the token, but also because of how long it is and how we have to work so hard to compete.
He
and
wants
get
to talk so
the
bad.
point
Look at
of
him.
winning the hackathon. And yeah, in terms of
I don't quite get that.
Mhm.
You like it because it's hard and you have to compete hard?
no, I would say since the hackathon is around a month long, we've actually been to multiple other hackathons building products to actually help build out the final product, which is Opal, which is the one we're competing for in the pump hackathon. So in this case,
Dude,
we
show the
went to,
product, please.
Brown and won Best Use Solana there, and then recently we went to the OpenAI Codex hackathon where we built
Yellow Decks,
Mhm.
and we won and presented on stage to Sam Altman, Greg Brockman, among
Opal
other
team gets
really,
frame mugged by Bitcoin billionaire Tim Draper live on the Pump.fun hackathon.
people in tech.
Yeah, and all of this is just specifically for this hackathon. So Yellow Decks is just a feature or how we actually push
So
products.
is your product going to be
Dude.
make it to the hackathon? Are you going to have the product working by the time the hackathon shows up?
Yeah, we're
Yes.
trying to get to that point. Yeah, so we go to other hackathons to efficiently build tools to help
They just
us.
hackathon maps?
I guess a good example is having a human in the cloud and having a human or like having a gaming agent that can see your screen and play.
I mean, to be fair, they
is very
said
difficult
nothing.
and it needs to see. So at the Codex hackathon, we built something that can help us label data really fast since we label data
brother.
a lot. And yeah.
What's the world you're projecting? Yeah, it's one where people play against their own agent, and the agent, keeps upping their game. And then, do they ever play people again, or is it just to improve themselves? What are you envisioning? What's the take over the world or make the world better thing here?
Yeah, I think as we push towards general intelligence, I think gaming is a niche that has not been explored thoroughly. Here's some problems that
They
we found.
haven't explored it
just
either.
In general, like the time is huge. And we've also found that synthetic data from gaming provides real world value in things like robotics, world models, self-driving cars,
I mean,
etc.
what is it?
The
What's
data
the
we
product?
can grab off the games and train from games synthetically is a huge
Bro,
amount
this
that
is like a
can be used
science
in
fair project.
so many ways.
Okay, so this is a means to a much bigger, more interesting market.
This isn't good, dude. I'm
but
sorry.
it starts by you getting to
This,
know
I mean, this is
your
not good.
agent well through gaming with them, and then you can evolve it to other applications.
Yeah, yeah, I guess that is pretty much that. So yeah,
Are you going to sell it? Are you going to give it away? How do the tokens play in here?
Yeah, so the utility for Opal comes in the fact that we have premium users that actually have session time with
Who's
said agent.
typing?
So you will basically give up some of your Opal tokens to play with Opal, and this
They type into each other.
provides data for us and also just helps circulate. Moreover,
we have
the token
4 of
itself,
these. I can't
we
do
built
4.
a huge community.
I
and
cannot do 4.
Like Elon was talking about earlier, you get a lot of feedback, and
Emily,
sometimes
thanks for the gift.
it's not that great, but most of the time it's awesome, and like the community helps push everything forward, and we get a lot of market validation in that way.
What kind of games are you guys focusing on?
Yeah, we're trying to build the first like game agnostic intelligence, in the sense where we have agents that can.
Opal
routes
founder was edge
towards
maxing his
any,
Jester Goon when the Draper appeared and spiked his
harness it
cortisol.
wants
Do you think Opal
and-
founder
and
needs to
be able
start
to play
hypertrophy
against,
maxing, or would that be peak cope?
just in general, like any game.
So,
you can think of.
my same agent would play chess with me, and then a quick twitch gun 'em down game.
Yeah,
You'd have,
Yeah.
and it'd be the
just
same
threatening to
agent.
gun 'em
and and you guys, if that agent would understand me and
Did
my
you say I'm gonna gun you down?
speeds and my thought
Spike
process.
my
and all
cortisol. I'm
that.
gonna gun you down.
Yep, that's
Yes.
exactly what we're building towards.
A
Yeah.
quick twitch gun him
So
down.
here is what we're presenting. The first AI you can queue with. As you can see, these are some clips of.
Everyone loves a
Opal
good gun him down game.
and various amount of games. Here's some FPS. There's a tank game. It's in the voice chat, and it's also playing Scribble with people. But yeah, as you can see, there's a lot of like data that comes in, and that's where we present the kind of enterprise side. So Scale Opal, or one of our products under Opal, is basically the idea that we can crowdsource data and we can crowdsource data from real users that play with Opal, or they just want to make some money. And we're thinking that this data is extremely valuable.
Wait, how do your
because-
users make money? I
Oh
missed
yeah,
that.
I can talk about that. So yeah, we pay out users in Solana. The reason why we're so like dedicated in the whole crypto and decentralized space is because like not only do the payments
Who's
come
typing?
very
So they get
fast,
paid,
but,
just paid for playing?
yeah, depending on the data quality they provide. So we'll often see like
It's like Kled for gaming. You say Cluely.
really good gamers. They provide better data in the sense they provide better keystrokes, better behavioral data, and we want to grab all this and basically use to push towards intelligence.
All right, guys. I think we're getting on time for the next teams. So
Dude.
thanks a lot for presenting.
I
I'll move on to the next.
feel bad because I feel like I'm being a dick right now.
Thank you. This is
I
great.
appreciate that a lot, guys. That was super interesting.
New way of
Thank you.
thinking about things. Great. I like it.
Dude, I feel bad because I feel like I'm being a
I'm
dick.
already glad we did this.
You lying like
All
shit.
right.
That's super
Name me
interesting.
You lying ass. Gun him down.
Next team that's in the
Billionaire,
game right
lying.
now. Yeah, gaming. There's a lot of really interesting things around gaming and agents right now. We have Z Points. Can you hear us? Okay.
Hey, I hear you guys just fine.
Great. Do you have a deck you want to present, or you just want to pitch your startup by voice?
I do. I am trying to present it right now.
Oh, I see. Perfect.
What's
There we
ticker?
go.
All right, take it
Yeah.
over.
Yeah, so I'm Points. I'm the lead developer here at Zeoth. Thank you guys so much for the opportunity, and I'll get right into it.
All right, let's see.
So recently we've
Oh,
seen
boy.
AI evolve from the knowledge tools you know today, like ChatGPT, into something that can complete tasks on a human's behalf, most recently with OpenClaw. This shift is just the beginning of an entirely new economy, one that's estimated to be worth up to $30 trillion by 2030. Within this emerging economy is a new payment protocol called X402. It's built for stablecoins and extremely fast transaction speeds.
Okay.
Put simply, X402 is a payment standard that allows AI agents to pay for web services and data the same way that humans swipe a credit card.
Okay.
It's a massive upgrade in usability for an agent, and it's essential for the agentic economy to exceed. X402 is very exciting, but there is a critical problem.
AI.
Machines move many times faster than humans, so even a small failure or a malicious actor can cost massive amounts of time and money. When we began building Zeoth 4 months ago, over 30% of the 2,400 X402 services were broken. There's now over 12,000 services provided, with similar amounts of broken endpoints. At scale, this translates to billions of dollars lost. Right now, an agent buying a service with X402 is akin to using a broken vending machine. If you pay for a Coke, there's a chance you get a Dr. Pepper or nothing at all.
ChatGPT asked script, but I'm
Zeoth's solution is to build the essential trust and security layer for the emerging agentic economy. Over the last 4 months, we've worked directly with developers at Coinbase and hundreds of on-chain developers to solve the security problem they're facing. In doing so, we built the first and only live X402 database that tracks service providers and gives agents the information they need to know before they pay. Our revenue model is simple. We make money when agents successfully purchase a service and providers get paid. Our database is free to agents who want to make sure the services they're about to use are operational, and it's also free to providers who want to have access to telemetry, refunds, and live data. Our model works similarly to other famous AI models. When an agent purchases a service using Zeoth, the provider shares a portion of that revenue with us. We've seen significant traction. Every X402 service provider whom we've spoken with has integrated Zeoth and uses our database. In addition, one part of our security layer, RepoScan, is integrated directly into Axiom, which serves over 40,000 daily users, as well on Rick on Telegram with over 50,000 monthly users. Zeoth's mission is to unify security and trust across the entire agentic landscape. We're building the verification.
I'm about to bid something because you got Tim quiet, bro.
Allows autonomous systems to scale safely, whether they're paying for services, evaluating code, or coordinating work. We look forward to building.
Is Pump doing this? Is Pump.fun doing this?
They are not. We're just applying to build in public with a Pump hackathon.
I know, but wouldn't they be a customer of yours?
Well, Pump could be a potential customer of ours, but at the moment, they don't have anything X402 related.
Lon?
So who does? Who would be a customer? Who would buy this?
There are many different providers that we work with on a daily basis. One of the biggest ones we work with is Heuris and Dexter. So they provide many different X402 services about blockchain stats, such as recent meme coin launches or even earthquakes, like seismographs that you can purchase and use for data in your agentic workflows.
That's super interesting stuff. I'm curious about some of the integrations that you mentioned with Axiom and Rickbot.
Of course. Yeah, so one of our big one is really the first big integration that we're bringing to the agentic community is called RepoScan.
You think Tim knows what X402 is or no?
Users to scan any public GitHub repository for malicious or bad code that could lead to any kind of smart contract exploitation or even just a LARP. A lot of these websites today are using recycled code. A big one we saw was Anatoly's X402 percolator, or not X402, but it's a decentralized percolator platform. And a lot of people reuse that same code, and we were able to catch it before users were able to get drained, essentially.
We got to be coming up on time here.
Oh, wow. That's super key.
X1 sounds great because
so RepoScan has been a huge hit. We have it integrated in Axiom and Rickbot as well. Like we said, they get a ton of daily users, and we have probably over 100,000.
Tim Draper, cortisol spike after hearing the word Rickbot 5 times with no clue what it is.
We have RepoScan, we have our platform, and our X402 provider hub.
Makes sense. And what X402 use cases are you most excited about at the moment?
Yeah, I mean, X402 is still a very new concept to a lot of providers and a lot of people on the blockchain. So it's something that is scaling very fast as well. As you saw, 4 months ago, we only had about 2,500, 2,400 endpoints that we covered, and it's scaled up to over 12,000 now. So we're looking forward to integrating directly with sellers so we can monitor their endpoints for them. So essentially, we would be catching any kind of failure regarding their endpoints before the agent receives it. And
dude, I don't know if I can do two more.
On
I don't.
They didn't expect to happen. So
what would a customer do if they didn't have you? So would they be
cortisol maxing?
First answer is if they use X402, and the other answer is if they're using something else.
Of course, yeah. Good question. So we don't really have a lot of other competitors, but with our customers, we are providing a way for free, basically a way to get free analytics and free grading upon their resources. So it's not very black and white right now with X402. There's always a paywall, and behind that paywall is something that could be just non-existent. So say you're paying for information regarding the weather today in Dallas. You could pay an agent and, it'd be 5 cents, and you say, hey, I want to get the weather in Dallas. And this resource provider could say that, okay, we're going to provide you this weather for that payment. Once you pay, they could provide you with absolutely nothing. But with Zeoth, we sit right in between the seller and the agent. And if something is to go wrong during that transaction, the agent gets refunded if they receive bad data or no data at all.
What percent of the transactions actually have something go wrong?
So when we began building Zeoth, over 30% of the 2,400 endpoints that we saw had bad transactions. And the number is actually remaining relatively sticky, even with 12,000 services now.
Just cooking viewers too, and it's cooked. We're about to flip
And
this
the way you get money is they pay every time there's a good transaction, they pay you, and they pay you by buying your Zeoth token, or they pay you in Bitcoin. How do they pay you?
So there's something called a UTM or a referral, more commonly known. But I mean, what happens is whenever we refer agents to endpoints that work, so we know that, this weather provider service works, we refer an agent to that provider. And whenever we do so, we attach our unique Zeoth link to it, and they know that we sent them, which gives them, or which drives revenue to us. So because of our referral, we're driving traffic to that seller, and we're also generating a form of revenue based off of the cost that they're selling their endpoint for.
What's your guys' biggest focus at the moment?
Our biggest focus right now is providing security to stablecoins, really. So with stablecoins and agentic payments, it's still kind of a black box still. We're trying to expand the network as well. Recently, we've been working with Base and Solana a lot. We're trying to expand our networks as well. We know with X402 V2, there's the expansion capability for almost any kind of EVM or SVM based chain to adapt. And that's kind of what we're focusing on at the moment, is trying to include everyone and making X402 the payment of the future for agents.
All right, gotta be a time. Gotta go.
Amazing.
We're only working for Solana.
No, X402 is it's chain agnostic.
Along getting cortisol spiked
and SVM chains.
Does that include Bitcoin?
It can. If there's a stable one that matches on the EVM network, absolutely.
Sweet. We're on time here. Thanks a lot for the presentation, Z-Points.
Dude loves Bitcoin.
Love great questions.
All right, we're gonna listen to one more, and I gotta go. I'll listen to the intro pitch of the next one. We gotta go though. I'm bored.
Thank you
for having me.
I'm bored.
Super interesting stuff.
Yeah.
All right, we got Shax and Navi.
Hey guys, thank you very much for having us.
How's it going?
So I am the creator of Juice, and Navi is our lead of business development. So Juice it's a two-sided product, and we're trying to solve the issue of, sorry guys, 1 second, putting myself together. We're trying to solve the issue of, it's really hard to trade coins that are extremely volatile, and that can be very off-putting for new entrants into this market. So the way that I've gone to solve this problem,
Donate.gg, shout out Donate.gg,
which is in fintech. I came from Ernst & Young, JP Morgan, and I was a quant at an institutional desk in Chicago. And I used that knowledge that I gathered to write algorithms to automatically trade on people's behalf. So that created Juice. Give me one moment.
Can you build this on Bitcoin?
So I can jump in here. So basically we've got two main products, right? We've got, and let me try to control this presentation. I'm sorry for the technical issue. Shax, go to the two product slide. Okay. So yeah, here's our two core products. The automated market maker bot. What this does is any user can come to the platform, load a wallet, pick a token, and the algorithms that we've designed will trade automatically for them. Basically, there's a lot of opportunity in the market, right? But if you are a normal person by any means, you have to work a job or you have to sleep or do anything, you're missing so much opportunity. So our bots allow you to trade the market on coins that you like, even if you can't pay attention to the chart, more or less.
How efficient are these trades? I mean, is Juice arbitraging or
fucking question?
Yeah,
press this motherfucker.
transaction fee?
So-
Press this dude.
So the way that Juice works is it watches every second, every chart that we're monitoring, and it looks for whenever the price of that token falls off of the base, or there's new information that comes in regarding volume, regarding wallets that are trading, regarding like we're trying to trade as efficiently as possible in a market that is not efficient at all. And we actually have a lot of results that we can get into because this is live at the moment. We have processed a few $1 million already of just user trades. And
there's no way this thing works. All right, wait, I'm gonna get up right now, and when I come back, we're done. I'm gonna get up. When I come back, we're done.
That are otherwise very mystifying for outsiders to trade.
And if I can jump in here too, we realized that not everybody actually wants to trade a chart just for pure profit. So for example, if you're actually running a project, we offer something called accumulation mode. So what this is going to do is you're allowed to load a wallet, and anytime the chart dips aggressively, it's going to allocate a portion of your wallet to buy back that chart. So you're now supporting the floor on your coin without having to set specific limit orders. You're just sort of responding, to the movements of the market. And this helps teams to build treasury, which in the long term, can sustain the chart by maintaining the critical support levels. On the flip side, we have a take profit.
So you are not. So Juice itself is not doing arbitrage. They're doing it for their customers.
Correct. Basically, if we rewind for a second,
where is Juice's money coming from?
Yeah, so we earn 0.3%. Yeah, the juice is worth a squeeze. Let me say that much. So we earn 0.3% on every single.
No. The juice is not worth the squeeze. It's not. It's not worth the squeeze. Guys, I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. That was rough. You seriously want me to join back? There's no way. I mean, that was rough, man. It's just like. I am a big fan of Alon, and I think Alon is a really smart guy, but I just don't understand the plan for Pump.fun at this state. I just don't understand the plan. From what I understand, I don't think Alon has done a stream or a public interview since mine in June, I think, unless I'm wrong. Is that true? Fact check me on that. I don't think he's done a public appearance since my interview, and I just don't understand the plan. I don't get it. And look, they made $1 billion. Okay, so maybe that was the plan. They've won, the game's done, but it just feels off kilter. It doesn't feel right. This was, I mean, there's no way this is the best use of our time and money right now doing this, because you look around and you see this, okay? You see this right here, and then you pay attention to what we just watched, and you think to yourself, what am I watching? I mean, seriously, what am I watching? Okay. And there's no way, by the way, Base should be winning this shit either. I mean, there's just like no way Base should be winning this shit. There's no way. I mean, there's like no way Base should come out victorious on the AI stuff. But here we are, bankers at 100 mil, and our brightest, most talented, successful founders are just like, oh, we're just wasting time. We're wasting time. That was a waste of, that was honestly, it was funny. It was like entertaining in a dark way. It was entertaining in like a dark way. Like I'm laughing at, kind of laughing at, not with. And yeah, I don't know. That I just don't understand the plan of Pump.fun at this stage. I don't understand the plan. I don't understand the goal, and maybe the goal is done. But everybody, you know, I have a Pump.fun segment here that we'll get to later. Well, I guess that was the fucking segment. And everyone asks this question. I'm kind of surprised no VC other than me has been willing to publicly take a bullish risk on Pump. 2 mil FTV with a token buyback rate over 500 mil annually. It's literally everything that everyone says they'll take a risk on. Someone will make a career on it. And this is why it trades at such low market cap to earnings, is because nobody wants to touch it. I don't think you can blame them. I mean, how could you watch that and want to buy Pump.fun? No one understands how they're making the money. No one gets it. No one knows. Everyone thinks it's fake. And you trade at such a compressed PE when no one has any confidence in your ability to sustain earnings long term. And I know that they've done it. I mean, look, like I got to give them credit. This is gross. This chart is gross. But I mean, Mike Dudas' entry is higher than this, okay? And just make that clear. Like I don't think this is where he got exposure to Pump. I just don't. I don't. Oh, he's a seed investor? Got it. I thought he was later. But my understanding is he's been buying the whole way. I don't know. He tweets like he buys every day. I don't know. It's just throws me off, the Pump.fun thing. He tweets. I mean, he's the only person that tweets about it at this point. By the way, the only tweets about Pump.fun ever is, holy fuck, how are they making $1 million a day still? That's the only discourse on Pump, is how are they still making $1 million a day? That's when people tweet about Pump.fun. That's it. That's the tweet. Those are the tweets, bro. And so I just don't get along on, bro. But it's almost like, for what? Like, what do you want him to say? What would you want to hear Alon come on stream and say? He's doing an airdrop? Twin, you're not getting an airdrop. Just forget about the airdrop. Forget about the airdrop. And let's move on, you know? Instead, there are some things that are happening that are exciting in crypto right now. And, dude, they're just happening on Base. They're just happening on Base. And as much as that fucking, I don't know, it's like shocking to me, it's happening on Base. This circle is where we first brought Banker on in July. We actually, funny enough, brought Banker on the stream for the first time the same day Alon came on the stream. Oh, how times have changed. So let's talk about Banker for a little bit. Tulip King posted this video. I'm gonna fucking speed him up, but I want to watch it. It's fucking gone viral as fuck on Twitter. I want to watch it.
So BankerBot just released their new launchpad about an
hour. My headphones are off for a second. I hear it.
You've probably seen it. Like, this is a project that's kind of slowly picking up hype in the AI space. And
God damn, you're talking fast as fuck.
okay, so BankerBot just released their new launchpad about an hour ago. You've probably seen it. Like, this is a project that's kind of slowly picking up hype in the AI space, and the launchpad is like pretty exciting, and it's got a cool design mechanism around token investing. But I think it's actually just like a piece of what makes Banker so interesting, and particularly I kind of want to make this video because I think Banker is like really.
Damn, you look, you fucked the volume too. Looking, I'm not gonna lie, shit's quiet as hell.
Misunderstood right now, and
I don't even know how to turn it up louder. It's like max volume. I don't even think I can make it louder. I have everything max volume. It's okay.
You'll be able to appreciate the full scope of the project. So start with the Launchpad. It is kind of like a big deal. Just about starting last week, Banker and like the agents and the tokens deployed by Banker had started to rack up like a couple of millions of dollars worth of fees. You can see on this dashboard that revenue-wise, like they're making 6 figures of revenue per day, right? But the problem was this revenue was being shared with Clanker, which was like the launchpad that they were using. The dev decided to pull a pump fund and realized that since he owns the users, right? Like people are launching these tokens through Twitter, through this.
Bro, it's on max on OBS. What do you want me to fucking do? Add like a volume expander, noise gain. No, I don't fucking know, dude. Whatever. Where'd you go with this?
Actually, really no.
Damn, I just fucking broke it now.
He's back to Clanker. Why don't I just make my own launchpad? And while I'm at it, why don't I make it a pretty good one, right? So I think one of the parts that makes it pretty interesting is he's actually modeling this launchpad after some like TradFi vesting schedules, right? And what that means practically is in the docs, now when you summon BankerBot on the timeline to deploy like an agentic token for you, you can specify details around vaulting some portion of the token, creating a lockup, and having like a vesting period for that token, and that can all be like dynamically configured like on token launch. That's pretty sweet. Like I'm excited to see where this goes. Hopefully like revenue and volume will kind of stand up strong here. But actually, I think the launchpad is like just a small reason why BankerBot is so interesting. What makes it the most interesting is the other use cases, and specifically not just people launching tokens through BankerBot and their new launchpad, but people launching agents that use BankerBot to do on-chain transactions. So when I first noticed this was when Maltbook started to pop off. Obviously, a bunch of people were spamming crypto slop, buy my token, blah 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 on top of Maltbook. But I noticed they were talking about Banker, right, which was kind of interesting. So I had Claude Code vibe me up a script, and it basically captured the amount of times that Banker was actually being mentioned by these other bots, and it's kind of like a surprising amount of times, and there was like a really healthy trend in adoption, right? That seems to match with metrics that the dev has shared on the timeline about the
chart's insane, by the way. API requests to Banker is just the most up only chart. It's disgusting.
Rate at which API calls are being made to BankerBot. And to kind of like explain the point there, you can do a lot of different on-chain stuff with Banker. So you can ask Banker, like, buy me $20 of this token and sell it when it pumps some percent. Bridge my token from here to here, swap this amount here, send some dollar amount of token to somebody else. I believe they've integrated like one of the perps exchanges on Base. So, these calls being made by the agents, like to Banker, aren't just
I can go 0.75x. I think they'll make it like 1.25.
About launching their token. It's also about interesting things like setting up treasury management, right? So here's an example. I have no
we're not doing that.
No clue what this project is here. I'm not endorsing it, but this guy is now using BankerBot to set up like an automated schedule of claiming rewards, burning some part of those rewards, and then supplying the rest of those rewards to liquidity. And so he's basically doing automated token operations where his instructions are in English, and then BankerBot like converts those into on-chain transactions, right? So you start to think to yourself, oh, like these bots aren't just launching tokens; they're using like Banker to do other stuff. You can even see that here's like the Launchpad, again, another project that I'm not like super interested in. But when you look at the skills file, right? So basically, when a bot comes to Clonch to like start doing its own agentic launches, what do you see? You see Banker in the documentation, right? Clonch is basically telling the agents that come to its website, hey, to use my website to set up your crypto wallet, you should create a Banker wallet, right? So these two charts here are kind of reflective of Banker slowly being adopted as like an underlying SDK for these agents. That's like the exciting bull case, right? Like if you believe in agentic commerce or DAOs using agents to like manage their treasuries, or like if you believe that people are going to like abstract away the complexities of DeFi and we all just text Claude, we text our OpenClaw bot, and it just does all of our on-chain stuff for us. That's like what Banker actually is. And then it's worth noting Banker is collecting some like, I forget the exact fee structure, or maybe they haven't turned it on yet, but like Banker is also collecting like swap fees and revenue from these transactions. This is like the adoption case. This is like the accelerated usage case, is essentially betting that as agents in crypto like kind of become that match made in heaven, because you can't do like agentic commerce on Stripe or PayPal or Venmo and all this stuff, right? Like all the agents need crypto wallets. Well, Banker is kind of like the Stripe for those crypto wallets. Like that's the exciting case. Like that's really what's incredibly cool beyond just like what is good revenue and like good metrics and like really clever design by the developer. And it goes even one step further than that, right? Like the other thing that you'll see a lot of kind of the AI crypto big brains talk about is the thesis of like self-sustaining agents, where it's essentially an agent will go out, make $20, say they spend $10 worth of LLM credits to do that. Well, can they use $10 of their $20 profit to pay for those fees and then keep the extra, right? Like, can these agents become economically viable? That is the second really interesting innovation being made by Banker right now, is the LLM gateway, where you can have the agents pay for inference automatically just by holding funds in their Banker wallet, right? So like you can now like set up real economic swarms of agents that will like go out and at least try, you know, you still have to make a profitable agent, right? But will at least go out and try to make their own money on chain and pay for their own
Obviously
stuff.
gonna happen.
Okay. All of that's super interesting, but like whenever I kind of describe that to people, they kind of have been asking me, well, what is the moat? Like, can't the agent just use the on-chain stuff? Can't like I just vibe code this? Do I really need to use it? I think Privy is actually a really interesting comparison here, right? And here's what I'll say. The Google auth, like log in with your Gmail, that's the most well-documented code base on the planet, right? You can find a gazillion guides, a million devs who have implemented it. It's all over Stack Overflow. You can close your eyes and say, Claude, add Google authentication to this app, and it's going to do it perfectly. So why was Privy acquired? It's because it's something that simply cannot go wrong, right? Like, I don't want to like make an application and then if I have, God forbid, like a mistake in my Google auth and all of a sudden people are hacking into my users' wallets and everything, I'm done. That's it. Like it's all over, right? So for the price of like truly cannot fail security, right? I'm going to use Privy. I'm also going to use Privy because if something goes wrong, it's not just my application that gets messed up, right? It's everybody's application that gets messed up. And you kind of get to hide away from things, right? So although we're in this whole SaaS apocalypse, which is probably rightfully deserved, where a lot of these SaaS apps need to re-rate, there are a lot of applications that are just simply zero fault tolerance. And so you still find yourself wanting to use like another application that handles it professionally. And that is what Banker is for these agents. It's kind of like Privy, it's kind of like Stripe, where sure, I could probably get Claude to do a token swap for me, but is it going to get it right like 100 times, right? Think of like those long hex addresses and your crazy private keys and stuff. That's a lot of like non-English text that you're really, really hoping your LLM doesn't put in the wrong contract address or the wrong receiving address, right? This is what I think like the real secret sauce of the Banker project is essentially translating like the English to the on-chain at a low to no
English to
fault rate,
on-chain,
right? That's the reason like there's actually a moat here, right? Is because it just simply cannot go wrong. And we've already seen examples where, you know, I feel bad for this guy, but it seems like his hot wallet private keys were compromised. You know,
talk about this in a minute, but this was where the Banker thing relatively clicked for me. Was that it's not safe to raw dog your AI on chain. It's just not.
Through some investigation of like agent stuff, right? Like I don't even know, right? Which is why I wouldn't even try to do this stuff on my own. Instead, I would just use like an actual like professional grade service to do it, right? And you see all the times like the dev is locked in, he continues to add like security features and customization features such that like your agents are going to want to use BankerBot, right? Because it makes them economically viable and it makes them secure. And then final thing, I'll just give some love to the dev. Like he's cracked. I mean, just scroll through this thing, read his feed, you'll realize he's ridiculous. And here I'm pulling up the chart, not necessarily to like shill the token or anything, but to say, oh, look at this thing, right?
Not to shill the token or anything.
Just about half a year ago, this thing rips during what must have been some tiny little agent meta and pump, and then it just gets brutalized down only. But here's the dev. He's like shipping, he's building, he's a crypto native. This isn't some AI dev who just discovered, oh, I can make 20K, you know, flipping some gas town shitter, right? This is like a real crypto dev who's been in the trenches. So I definitely think everybody should go, like, take a look at Banker, check out the docs, play with it a little bit, see if it's interesting. But just as you do so, like, keep an eye on other agents using Banker, keep an eye on other projects building on top of Banker, and then just kind of start to imagine how things go if the agent economy really, really starts to take off, and if this project becomes like the underlying SDK of AI and crypto. So, you know, not a shill. Like, I think the market is pretty questionable right now. So I definitely think no token is immune to anything, but it's like an interesting project that I think you should watch, and I hope you have like a better understanding of it after watching this video.
That was Tulip King, our GOAT. And dude, I think it's a really good video. Like, I think the thing that got me like thinking about it a little bit, where I was, you know, I said to myself, all right, makes sense, is this take of Banker is text to on-chain. That's a big deal. And so like this tweet had me thinking about it a little bit. Where I was not previously, let me see, LLM out of the box or not. Let me see if I can find it. Here. So there's this quote tweet, and I'm sorry to this person. Seems to be a big account. I don't really know who this is. Awaki. Quote tweets, what happened? Awaki's hot wallet private keys was compromised after only 5 days alive. Luckily, funds are safe. The treasury signing keys are stored in a safe that requires me to sign. What happened? It was given these instructions to never share it, but it still did. For my investigations, it put the key into git commits, which it swears it didn't push. And so this person basically gave crypto to an agent and it leaked their private keys. And so Deployer co-tweeted it, who's banker, and says, LLMs out of the box are not designed to reliably manage private keys and submit complex transactions data to the blockchain. We spent more than a year making sure LLMs play nice with wallet keys, contract addresses, and transaction data. Don't build it yourself. Just use BankerBot for your agent. Link to the docs below. And so one thing that I was thinking about with Banker, even token aside, is that if it really is true that every single agent is going to have crypto wallet and you're going to be using this thing to do stuff on chain, you can't really raw dog it because it's not really safe, right? And that's a problem. That's a big gap because in between no one's on chain and every wallet's on chain, you need some filter you can go through to protect what you're doing. Like I'm not going to give, I'm not going to give my Clawbot is sharp. I'm not really going to give that motherfucker a lot of money in a wallet, and the agent definitely shouldn't hold the keys. I think that take is correct. And so, yeah, that's how Banker works basically, is you can basically skip that step, go through Banker, and protect your keys, which, yeah, like that's obviously, like, here's the thing. It happens once. It's the most viral story, and no one ever does it again, right? People like run for their fucking life. And so, yeah, like how Privy, you don't need your keys. I think it's a really interesting use case. Frank talks about it a ton. Tulip King just like joins every single meeting and talks about Banker. Banker uses Privy, I think. Fact check me on that, I think. Here's I'll read this to you. I like this guy a lot. Up a lot of money in FOMO too. I think it uses Privy. Here's my very simple Banker thesis. After the launch and success, Alon replies to me. Fuck. It's like a little awkward. Fuck. Am I doing too much? No, we love Alon here. We're honest though. We're honest. I love him, but I'm honest. I'm very honest. I'm very honest about my thoughts. I'm honest. I gave my honest thoughts. Here's my very simple Banker thesis. After the launch and success of Anti-Fund Agent today, which was the Logan Jake Paul thing, it has become success to me with the leading narrative of this meta is going to be. Every single Web 2 AI tech dude is going to tokenize their own agent. This narrative has an amazing feedback loop in the sense that every successful tokenized agent that is created will bring in more eyeballs, capital, mindshare, etc. It just takes one to jumpstart things, and that's what I think Kelly Claude and Felix have done. The ball is in motion now. There will be thousands and thousands of these launched over the next few weeks, so why not Banker? It has established itself as the default way to tokenize, and then this part I think is important. Manage and operate the financial side of your agent. And most importantly, this is what the first successful agents use, so the next ones will follow in their footsteps. That's a little bit more questionable, but we'll see. The mode has been established. It will only strengthen from here. This means that Banker is going to benefit the most from the explosion of agents being tokenized. Every single dollar of trade volume for these tokenized agents will lead to revenue going straight back into Banker's treasury. They're currently doing around 200 to 500K of revenue per day the past week, which, I mean, that's a lot given what Pump does. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's not a joke, bro. It's not a small amount. People are greatly underestimating how big tokenized agents are going to be. This is an entirely new asset class, similar to how NFTs and meme coins are. Banker sits dead in the middle of this new asset class and is the core infra that powers everything. NFTs, OpenSea, meme coins, Pump.fun, tokenized agents, Banker. It's a pretty good bull post, I'll tell you that. Now, the fact that it's still sitting at 50 mil is beyond me. A little late to that. Huh. I'm not going to give a price target, but let me tell you, this is way higher than it is right now. I have a lot more scattered thoughts, but wanted to put something out there on Banker and how I'm thinking about it higher. So we'll see. But I think what it, at the very least, it's become a decent barometer for the health of AI on chain. And so one of the things that works in our favor as well is we didn't get to talk about this yesterday, but Farcaster getting acquired and Stripe hiring Dan Romero, I actually think it's a big deal, bro. I actually think it's a big deal. And we have someone that looks like this, just like a looker, going public on TVPN and all of the shows, and he's talking about agents transacting on chain. I think it's an important clip.
Lay out
I
the.
actually haven't watched it yet, but I think it's an important clip. I think it is. I think it's an important clip.
Lay out the AI agent thesis a little bit more.
Also, you turn your phone
Yeah, why wouldn't I just want to give OpenClaw or ClaudeBot or whatever agent I'm using, just like my credit card?
This question and being able to answer this and prove this right is probably the $1 trillion question for crypto AI. Like this being true or not true.
Why wouldn't I just want to give OpenClaw or ClaudeBot or whatever agent I'm using, just like my credit card?
Well, I think one thing is the credit card itself is kind of like a private key.
Yeah.
And so
God, he's so good.
having that get prompt injected out is maybe not the best thing in the world.
Sure.
And then going and giving a bunch of other agents your credit card, one of those could be malicious, and then that gets popped. Where
The
I think with
agent's like,
crypto,
I
you're
promise I
signing
won't
each
charge it
transaction
again.
securely,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think naturally that, but to also, if you have these agent swarms, the idea of like spinning up a new credit card for each individual sub-agent doesn't make sense, where you can imagine wallets, you can spin up as many as you want and then be able to kind of manage programmatically the different balances for each agent.
Mm-hmm.
But if you think about it, like an API call to any of these frontier labs right now is a, pay per call, right? So if you actually kind of break it down, you're eventually going to get to a point where every single API call, you can just pay some amount of stable coins in the background and keep moving, right? So I think that's where the world is headed.
Figma.
Dude, should we just watch that? The full thing? Is there like a... I mean, that's the vision right there. Let's see. Are there any more clips from this? 126,000 views. How do you even find it? There's so much stuff going on. I know. That's the only clip they posted, really? What about the full interview? I want to just skip around a little bit. TBPN, Dan Romero. Let's see, was he yesterday?
Round. Are really cool and innovative ways to use AI imagery in a way that maybe, okay, I get it, but that's the point. Wix Harmony, I think they meant to have that on Grammys last week. OpenAI.
I think there are a lot of blockchains out there that do a lot of different things, but
does that have a meaningful impact on the API business? Because most API companies are like, yes, I'm giving you the service piece by piece, but I'll invoice you at the end of the month and it's fine. Is there like an impact to cash flow if you pull that through? Or
acknowledge me for a few minutes. What do you want?
Security.
There's obviously some amount of cost to an agent decide what service to use to register a domain or to host a database. Right now, you kind of are using Cloud Code, and then it kicks you out to a web browser. And it says, hey, go set up an account over here, fill it out. When you're done, bring it back, and then I can continue what I'm doing. Whereas you could imagine you have Cloud Code running, and it finds a stablecoin native way of doing something. It's just going to sign up and do it for you, right? And so I think that's the kind of future where it just allows the agent to be unblocked.
The probably hundreds of L1s that have launched in the last.
I don't care about the L1.
So I think the differentiated thing for us, spend a lot of time trying to should be live by kind of Q2. This
ever been worse in your time than
Oh, here we
less
go.
than a year.
Has crypto sentiment ever been worse in your time than right
Oh,
right
yeah.
now?
Way.
This is an easy day.
What was your
the darkest-
what was your
darkest
yeah, what was
hour?
your darkest hour?
I think the Bitcoin scaling 2015, 2016, pre kind of Ethereum, it was pretty grim because everyone was assuming all the payments was going to, peer-to-peer electronic cash. That was Bitcoin, right?
Yeah, that was the thesis.
And so the fact that things weren't going anywhere.
Yeah.
And then I think Ethereum in 2017 really kind of broadened the aperture from kind of just being Bitcoin. There were a lot more choice words to describe any other blockchain at the time. And it became crypto, right? And all the kind of stuff that's since come from that. So I think things were way more grim in 2015 relative to now. I mean, you have Genius Act, Clarity is still kind of in play in Congress. I mean, we had a Super Bowl ad yesterday that everyone was singing, right? So like, I think things are, 2022 is also pretty bad.
Yeah.
So I think that the real world impact for crypto has never been closer.
Yeah.
And so, I'm really, really excited. That's why I wanted to come on the show today.
Yeah.
To tell
2022 is wild.
I'm not leaving.
Definitely.
Right?
I'm not leaving.
No, I love it. I
love it.
know the one thing that is maintained. I mean, I've seen a number of psych hired, and just because I'm a very internet user doing something with
Internet user might be a little extreme, but how about
Then you roll. Thanks.
I'm at the bid for this?
You ever had an entire country mad at you?
death threats.
Oh yeah.
We actually I've got my own
Dude,
cluster.
AI agents,
because
please.
they're 70% nuclear, but
Something else and just walked away in the game. They got it.
Hopefully on tempo. Want to change the world? Raise capital at the New York.
What the is it early then? Damn, it's so short.
Come to the show.
Good
for us.
Yeah. And now I am
22. We're integrated specifically in sense. What I mean, kind of a silly question, but like why this opportunity?
See, I think I saw that Wall Street,
and I like it felt like the whole Coinbase team had been working forever to get that kind of quote because that was the whole ethos of the entire movement.
Well, I mean, like I started at Coinbase in 2014, and it's the classic first they fight you, but we're really excited about working with banks with stablecoins. I think it's pretty good, and I think generally that I think is going to be on
really broad role means you're going to be getting people to use Tempo. What is the role going to be? Neobank
right now? And I was meeting with the bank this morning. I'm about to meet with the one right after this, but also Neobank. And I think there are a lot of blockchains closely with Stripe on.
How lay out the AI agent thesis a little bit more?
Why wouldn't I just want to give?
Okay.
Well, I think one thing is the credit card itself is kind of like a private key.
Yeah.
And so having that get prompt injected out is maybe not the best thing in the world.
Sure.
And then going and giving a bunch of other agents your credit card, one of
It's
those
such a
could be
good take.
malicious, and then that gets popped. Where
The
I think in
agent's like,
crypto,
I
you're
promise I
signing
won't
each
charge it
transaction
again.
securely, right?
Yeah.
So I think naturally that, but to also if you have these agent swarms, the idea of like spinning up a new credit card for each individual sub-agent doesn't make sense. Where you can imagine wallets, you can spin up as many as you want and then be able to kind of manage programmatically the different balances for each agent. But if you think about it, like an API call to any of these frontier labs right now is a pay per call, right? So if you actually kind of break it down, you're eventually going to get to a point where every single API call you can just pay some amount of stable coins in the background and keep moving, right? So I think that's where the world is headed, and I think it's on us to kind of pull that forward a bit.
Does that have a meaningful impact on the API business? Because most API companies are like, yes, I'm giving you the service piece by piece, but I'll invoice you at the end of the month and it's fine. Is there like an impact to cash flow if you pull that through, or security or risk or underwriting? Like, what is the benefit if you're OpenAI or Anthropic and you're like, yeah, technically we offer services on a per microsecond basis, but the Fortune 500s who are buying our API, like they pay their invoices on time.
Yeah, look, there's obviously some amount of cost to using different payment rails. With stablecoins, it's as cheap as it gets.
Yeah.
I think that there's also some amount of fraud. So when you don't have that because it's a bearer instrument with stablecoins, that's a settled payment, that also benefits. But I just also think that you just kind of have new use cases, right? So how does an agent decide what service to use to register a domain or to host a database? Right now, you kind of are using Claude Code and then it kicks you out to a web browser and it says, hey, go set up an account over here, fill it out.
What's good, Mando? Make hype go up.
When you're done, bring it back, and then I can continue what I'm doing. Whereas you can imagine you have Cloud Code running, and it finds a stablecoin native way of doing something. It's just going to sign up and do it for you, right? And so I think that's the kind of future where it just allows the agent to be unblocked, assuming the agent has some money to spend.
It allows the agent to be unblocked.
What are your main lessons from the probably hundreds of L1s that have launched in the?
Yeah. Okay. I guess we should maybe just do the Dan, get him back. at some point, right? Like, he actually has a fucking sick take on... Dude, you gotta stop typing this fucking message. Threadguy, you have to get a lawn on and push the marketing thing. Bro, there's no amount of marketing that can save meme coins, brother. There's not. I can't fix meme coins for you. No marketing on anything will fix that. It just won't. It won't. It won't. Jack Duvall ad take. Like, it's just not gonna happen. Okay, quick intermission to bring you some crypto news that crime is not legal. Announced today that John Carnoy, the CEO of SafeMoon, has a 100-month prison sentence today, which is no fucking joke. It's a coffee video. It's short. I'll watch it real quick.
All here today to listen to the sentencing of John Caroni, who is the big cheese at
John Caroni.
SafeMoon, a crypto project that promised to get people to the moon safely. Spoiler, most of them lost their money, and John Caroni bought expensive houses and cars. We reported on it 4 years ago, did a big investigation 3 years ago. The government brought a case.
Chat, did you buy SafeMoon last cycle? Yes or no? Had anyone made money on SafeMoon or lost money?
And after all this time, a conviction has finally happened and sentencing happened this morning.
Mr. Caroni, I now sentence you to 100 months.
Damn, it's kind of dark. Huh? I don't even want to listen to this. Coffee's like hype about it too. Look at his face. He's like fucking edging to this shit, huh? I don't even want to listen to this. Coffee's like, how big's a sentence? He's like, all fucking...
John Caroni got 100 months, which is a little over 8 years, and eventually he'll do 2 years of supervised release. I think this is fair. 8 years is a very long time, and I think it's important to highlight when scammers ultimately get sentenced and brought to justice, because especially in this time where it feels like...
What's it? Is he a scammer, though? He just launched a fucking meme coin, huh? Isn't... It's just a meme... Bundled supply and a meme coin, is that 10 years in jail?
Crime is legal for everything. We have to be reminded.
If bundling a meme coin and deploying a pup is 10 years in jail, crypto Twitter should be fucking scared. I'll tell you that.
That crime is legal if you know the right guys. Otherwise, they may actually get you, and I have to send that message to all the people who think, oh, I can get away with it. It's the crime is legal era. CoffeeZilla said so. Well, hold on there. Hold on, Skippy. For some people...
If launching a meme coin and selling as a dev is 10 years in prison... FNFs are no longer going to exist by the end of the year.
People, you know, it's not. If you don't have the right connections, if you don't have the right, you know, hookups, actually you still might get caught. And I think that's an important message to send. I also think it's important to close the book on this chapter. I mean, literally, I have been covering this for over 4 years. And finally, things are starting to move. We know, of course, that the other executives in this case, Thomas Smith, he pled guilty. We know that Kyle Nagy, he fled to Russia. We also just saw an important update in the class action lawsuit. Defendant Jake Paul and defendant Daniel Keem both reached a settlement with the class action, with Jake Paul settling for $200,000 in cash and Daniel Keem settling for $90,000 in cash. And I also want to mention the government is seizing Caroni's assets as part of all of this in order to get some of it back to the victim. So it's a good ending to a very sordid story. Thanks for watching. And if you want to support more investigative journalism like this, consider supporting us on Patreon. I don't talk.
Brother should launch a meme coin, huh?
Talk about it a lot, but that's the main way we fund this channel.
Coffee should just fucking deploy, huh? Let's see. Yeah, why is the polls involved in everything, bro? No. What's the actual, like? Is it this? Is it this? It feels low to me. It feels low. I thought it was higher. There's no way this is it, right? B&B? SafeMoon 2? Oh, this is like before my time, bro. No. Huh. 1.2 bill feels fucking low, no? Yeah. I don't know. That is brutal news for the deployer scene. Okay, here's what we're gonna do is quick market overview that we haven't really done because I've been avoiding it, and then we're gonna talk about the .com crash. All right, crypto not good. By the way, not good. Website 17B. That's what I thought. By the way, wait, let me see. SafeMoon market cap. Let me see if I can find a better one. Yeah, I don't know. I guess that's V2 that I'm looking at. Yeah, whatever. We'll do it. It's not that important. It's a long time in fucking jail, though. That's no joke. All right. Here's where we're at. Not great. Metals look fine. I feel like gold looks pretty good. Bitcoin kind of looks terrible, if we're being honest. Bitcoin kind of looks terrible. There's other stuff I don't pay that much attention to. Bitcoin kind of looks terrible. Alts look really terrible. Monad is leading today. Bitcoin looks terrible, Frank. Barachain is the second best performing alt on my screen. Axie Infinity is third. Monero, and then everything else is bad. Jupiter is like maybe the worst token ever. Honestly, Jupiter doesn't get enough hate, the token, in my opinion. Doesn't get enough hate. Not nearly enough hate. This is unprecedented levels of down only every day. Barcoin too, just unreal. Athena, crazy how the mighty have fallen here too. I mean, alts are bad, bro. They're bad. They're bad. Litecoin bad, or lighter bad. Pump not doing well on news of the stream. Uni. I mean, there's not even worth going over these coins. The only place that there's anything interesting right now is on chain is doing relatively well, all things considered. You kind of just have to look at Banker and be optimistic about where we're at. It's like our best optimistic hope there. Hyperliquid not good, and I'm not feeling great about that. I'm not doing great in this trade, if I'm being honest. And our best cope right now is probably that on-chain could decouple because everything else is bad. Also, crypto stocks are getting destroyed. Robinhood bounced a little bit, but this was bad, bro. This is Robinhood. The lows, it's down 53, 54%. Yeah, I'm still on hype. I'm still on hype. Palantir bad. Some of these are bad. Microsoft bounced a little bit. D-Gills did a victory lap at the top today. And it was a Coinbase is atrocious. Look at Coinbase from the top. Done 67%, and then Circle is bad too. The worst. IPO top 82%. IPO at the best time, by the way. June 2025. All while Nvidia looks great and strategy terrible. Not that bad. It's in SPX looks like this. ATH. Basically ATH. So that's where we're at. And while crypto just... You hear me twice? That's you. While crypto looks the way that it is, we kind of have no choice but to talk about the more exciting ecosystem right now, which is just AI. It just is. So we put together a little segment. We put together a little segment just to like watch some old stuff because I had fun when we did this shit on stream the other day. And it is the .com crash. Which, by the way, there is not that... It's like there's a surprisingly low amount of content on the .com crash. I guess it was just too early on when this happened. But there's like a surprisingly low amount of content on this. And the more exciting thing to watch is I have some like fun excerpts from this that are like exciting and like funny and like fun to watch. There's a surprisingly low amount of content on this, and there is a surprisingly just ridiculous performance of some of these stocks in like 2000, 2001. And honestly, everywhere you read, you look at how stupid some of these .com stocks were trading, and then you look at what's happening in AI right now, and honestly, I can't help but be inclined to say this time feels different. It just does. I want to go over this a little bit, but it honestly, it just does. It just does. So, okay, I'm gonna start with this. Kind of a fun read. This is the best thing I could find on it. It's not that good of a chart, but it's like decent. Is the .com bubble explained in 1 minute? Here you go. The .com bubble of the late 1990s was marked by a surge of internet-related companies with sky-high valuations. From 1995 to early 2000, the NASDAQ composite index quadrupled in value and the S&P roughly doubled, which isn't that crazy. Fueled by optimism about how the World Wide Web would transform business, investors poured money into any company with a .com in its name, often with little regard for traditional metrics like earnings. To me, that's not really happening in AI. You look at AI and these companies that are getting fucking bid up, and they are making ridiculous amounts of money. Not that high. I was referring to S&P doubling. Okay, I guess it is crazy. The NASDAQ quadrupling is insane, yeah. The euphoria hit its peak in March 2000, soon after reality caught up. Growth expectations proved too optimistic. Many unprofitable companies ran out of cash, and interest rates had been rising. The bubble burst spectacularly. Over the subsequent 2 years, the NASDAQ plunged nearly 80% from its peak, while the S&P fell almost 50%. More than $5 trillion of market value evaporated, which is a lot. That's like Google and Nvidia right now just went to zero. And scores of .com darlings went bankrupt. Iconic failures like Pets.com, which we learned about yesterday, we'll talk about today, and Webvan became synonymous with the crash. Pets.com, for example, burned through capital with a flawed business model, e.g. costly shipping of pet food. They're like drop shipping for cat food. And so its stock collapsed to cents per share before liquidating in late 2000. Webvan, an online grocery pioneer once valued over $1 billion, shut down in 2001 after expanding too aggressively and losing hundreds of millions. Yet, amid the wreckage, a few companies survived, and some eventually thrived. No need to explain the Amazon.com case. Priceline.com, now Booking Holdings, similarly survived. Even Yahoo, which saw its stock skyrocket and then crash, did not disappear, though it lost dominance to Google in the subsequent years. Established tech giants like Microsoft, Intel, and Oracle suffered severe stock declines but had solid earnings and cash reserves that helped them endure and eventually recover. And so here's a chart that I think is like pretty sharp. The comparison with AI doesn't hold up to 2000 because back then all companies are public, but now they're private. VCs investing anything with the word AI. This is true, but at least from what I've learned is these leading AI names are they're fucking printing. The companies are fucking printing right now, and they just were not in 2000. They're not making any money. So at February 2000 peak, the interest sector commanded a 1.2 trillion valuation against negative 2.5 billion in earnings. It's like, what? 1.2 trill val on negative 2.5 billion earnings. Perm bear analysts calling for 70% correction were dismissed as aggressive. We underestimate failure because bulls make the most noise, but the NASDAQ eventually bought it minus 80%. It didn't reclaim that peak for 15 years and 9 months. And so this in Santiago posted this chart when we were fighting about what the correct valuation framework is for these L1s. And yeah, I think this is an interesting chart because so he basically says we're in this uncomfortable phase of crypto. And basically what this chart shows here is basically the year 2000. The NASDAQ was at its peak and the internet had roughly 400 million users. And then fast forward to 2003, after it had just declined 78% from March 2000 to October 2002. So a little bit after that, like 2003, a little bit after a minus 80% dump, the internet had 1.1 billion users. And so people are we've talked about this before and it's worth talking about it again, that people were fucking using the shit out of the internet even though the market was getting destroyed. And I think a lot of the AI doing people point to this, right? Where it's like people continue to use these models, continue to use LLMs, continue to use these things more, and prices could drop significantly. Now, 400 million at the beginning is like kind of rookie numbers. It was just so early, the year 2000, like fuck, pre-iPhone, pre-smartphone, pre-everything. But I have some videos here, like it's kind of an electric era. It's kind of, I have like a couple of videos we could watch. It was kind of an electric era. We watched that video yesterday as well. That low-key video that had like 10K views of peak froth. All these guys quitting their jobs, getting $3,000 loans, and like running up 7 figures. I haven't watched this yet, but I want to watch it.
So most of those internet companies of the dot-com era are out of business. Yeah. You survived.
Where's this from? 5 years ago. I wonder what year this is from.
That made you to survive, and virtually the rest of them are gone.
Well, that whole period is very interesting because the stock is not the company, and the company is not the stock. And so as I watched the stock fall from 113 to 6, I was also watching all of our internal.
113 to 6 is insane.
Business metrics, number of customers,
Jesus.
profit per unit. Everything you can imagine, defects, etc. Every single thing about the business was getting better and fast. And so as the stock price was going the wrong way, everything inside the company was going the right way. And we didn't need to go back to the capital markets. We didn't need more money. The only reason, a financial bust like the internet bubble bursting is, makes it really hard to raise money. But, we already had the money we needed. So we just needed to continue to progress.
Well, Wall Street kept saying, well, Amazon's not making any money. They're just getting customers. Where's the profits? Where are the profits? And Wall Street kept beating you up.
What they're screaming about a lot of the AI companies right now, too, is like, they're making money, but they're fucking spending it. They are getting new users, but they're fucking destroying money.
On that, and your response was, I don't really care what you think?
Well, I was on television with Tom Brokaw. He pulled together half a dozen internet entrepreneurs from that era. This is, I think it was right before the bubble burst, maybe, or right after, I can't remember, but in that area. And he was interviewing all of us, and he finally turned to me, and he said, Mr. Bezos, can you even spell profit? And Tom, by the way, Tom Brokaw is now one of my good friends, but he's like, can you even spell profit?
It's like the Brad Gerstner, Sam Altman clip, huh?
And I said, sure, P-R-O-P-H-E-T. And he burst out laughing, but look, Amazon was, people always accused us of selling dollar bills for 90 cents, and said, look, anybody can do that and grow revenues. That's not what we were doing. We always had positive gross margins. It's a fixed cost business, and so what I could see is that from the internal metrics is that at a certain volume level, that we would cover our fixed costs and the company would be profitable.
So who?
That's insane. I didn't realize. Let me change my headphone batteries. I like the headphones better die. Went from $130 to $6, but they're making more money the whole time. Let me change this. Wait, let's look at the chart. 130 to 6 is nutty, bro. That's a jester fucking mug, is right, Frank. Let's see. Amazon.com, US dollar. Go month. Oh, it's crypto. I'm retarded. Here. Oof, man. So off TGE, off IPO, plus 10,000%. Top wick. Oh, adjusted for stock split. I was so confused. Adjusted for stock splits. How about this trade, huh? Plus 10,000%, minus 95, and then from the bottom to the top wick, plus 45,000%. Bro. You could put like $1 in that thing and fucking retire. That's disgusting. And so this is what you just can't help but feel. Like, this is what Andrew Kang is posting about. This is what Chow is posting about. This is what these AI guys are posting about. Is that trade is staring at us in the face. Whether or not we have to take a 95% drawdown first to find it and to make it, valid question. But just for the sake of this convo, you could have bought the Pico Schmico top of Amazon, like the absolute Pico top of this, not sold any of it, and you still could have rode how much? To the top. Like, you still could have rode 4,500%. Like, insane trade. Like a god trade. God trade with any size of conviction. You could have rode a fucking god trade. Now, it's obviously harder to do because these companies aren't public anymore. That's partly where crypto comes into play. And then ideally, there will be a lot more opportunity for these things to go public. How much time was it? Let's see. I mean, it's over a long time frame, huh? Like right here. 10,000 days. What is that? 10,000 divided by 365. 27 years. Life trade. That's a generational life trade, my brother. Okay, this is like some sick excerpts from the vibe. Like, basically what I'm trying to figure out, vibes-wise, from this, is, are these the vibes of where we are right now with AI? Like, is this comparable to the energy of Sam Altman and Dario and Elon? Like, are we at this same stage?
So what is the $64,000 question? Holy cow, I'm gonna have to tough it up now. Here we go. What's the $64,000 question for the field? What is the most asked question that I've received this week? What the hell are we supposed to do about .net, Steve? It's a very good question. And it's got a very, very clear answer. Developers. The key to...
Are we here at this stage right now? This is a year out from the top. Are we here right now?
.net, the key to industry transformation, the key to success is develop...
She's so wet, bro.
Developers, 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 developers. Developers, 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 developers. Yes! Very clear answer. Developers.
Yes or no? Are we here right now?
The key to .net, the key to...
Give this brother some fucking Margiela cologne.
Industry transformation. The key to success is developers, 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 developers.
This is what they took from us, bro. This is the main characters they took from us. Are we here yet? I don't know, chat. Are we here in AI right now? This is 1999. This is 1999. Okay, this is right here. This is right here. Are we here yet? Is my question. Are we this euphoric yet? Is that where we are yet? I'm inclined to say no.
We sell the company.
I'm genuinely inclined to say no. Are we there yet? Okay, this is a sick one too. This is a fun one. I think this is 1998.
Some more photos right now. Yeah, it's got a wireless connection in there, and so what we're going to see is after you turn
this is
on,
earlier. This is me shilling Claude Code to my aunt yesterday. This is what year is this? Real quick. What year was Bill Gates and Conan interview? Really? What year is the famous Bill Gates internet interview on Conan. No fucking way that's 2005. Okay, 1995. Yeah, okay, I was about to say. 95. Okay, so then the question you have to ask yourself is, are we at Steve Ballmer screaming developers, 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 developers at the Pico Schmico top of the dot-com bubble in 1999? Or are we closer to this right now?
And so we're going to see is...
Are we closer to this?
Is that after you turn this on...
Right, it's turned on now.
Those photos
I can take some
are going
photos
to
of you
move
right
down
now.
onto the PC.
All right, come on, baby, give it to me. All right, that's nice. That's right, baby. Come on, let's work it, Bill. Oh, yeah, baby. Come on. All right.
Here on the screen,
Yes.
this is Media Center, which is our key product that really converges everything. And here's this single remote control to let you navigate. Well, we're in the photos section here.
These are the photos we took, I think, last night.
That's right. So if I click OK, I'll get a little slideshow, and you'll get a little glimpse of what we were up to together here.
Okay, all right. Okay, and right now 9 people are being fired.
Watch.
Digitally fired. Wireless, there's no connection. That's the beauty of it. You don't need firewall, or I don't know what I'm talking about. I think should we start? Should we just, we ready to go? Okay, the first photo here is you picking me up at the airport right there. Thought that was, we seeing these at all? No?
No, I don't think we are.
No, I don't think we
That's
are.
the problem when you have the wrong remote control. It's a
Yeah.
good thing you only have one, though.
Yeah, that's good. All right, well, is anybody going to do anything, or should we just move on? Did I mention there's gambling in this town, Las Vegas? Feel free to hit the tables. You can come back when we get this thing working.
Some things never change, huh? Time's a flat circle.
A big year for us. We got up to 1.4 million units.
I'm going to interrupt you for 1 second, because I think they have the slideshow together. You want to take a look at that
well,
right now?
let's
take
give
a look.
that one more try.
Let's give it a shot, and let's see what we get here. And again, they've just incredible. I don't know who's running things here. Who's in charge of Microsoft? Oh,
look at him. He's just fucking trolling. This is like a joke. This guy's shilling him the internet in 1995, and he's just fucking trolling.
Well, I think they say we're ready to do the slideshow. That thing keeps blinking, so I think not. So maybe we'll move on yet again.
Yep.
Now, let's see. There's Bill and I. He met me at the airport. We hung out by the pool. Then.
Bill Gates doesn't need any fucking shirtless pool pictures, I'll tell you that.
Bill used Microsoft technology to beef up his picture. It was nice. Little unfair. Then Bill and I hit the bar, had a good time. And then we got so drunk that we actually went out and we got ourselves matching tattoos, which was always good. And in fact, I got so drunk that I woke up with a hooker. Bill got so drunk he woke up with an Apple computer.
Bro regrets this video.
And it was...
Wait, this isn't the clip I want though. Hold on. Wait, let me find it. Let me look in. Oh, this is what I want.
What about this internet thing? Do you know?
1995. This is same time. So he goes on Conan O'Brien. They're just trolling him about Microsoft. He goes on David Letterman 4 years before that Steve Ballmer, and this is.
Know anything about that?
Sure.
What the hell is that exactly? What about this internet thing? Do you know anything about that?
Sure.
What the hell is that exactly?
Well, it's
Listen to this, bro. They're actually trolling. He's just gesture maxing. David Letterman's gesture maxing, bro.
Place where people are publishing information.
Right.
So everybody can have their own homepage. Companies are there. The latest information. It's wild what's going on. You can send electronic mail to people. It is the big new thing.
Yeah, but it's easy to criticize something you don't fully understand, which is my position here.
Go ahead.
But I can remember a couple of months ago, there was like a big breakthrough announcement that on the internet or on some computer deal, they were going to broadcast a baseball game. You could listen to a baseball game on your computer. And I just thought to myself,
it's like, wait, you're using the agent to send emails?
Does radio ring a bell? You know what I mean? It's
just... There's a difference.
And then that crowd goes crazy, by the way, because they hate the internet, right? I think they don't understand.
You can listen to the baseball game whenever you want.
All right. Do tape recorders ring a bell?
Crowd goes crazy. It's like when you post the hate AI thing and it gets 500,000 likes on Twitter.
And what about this
Okay, so now the question that we have to try to figure out here. The million-dollar question on where are we in this bubble, if you will, is are we at the top watching this?
Developers, 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 developers. Developers, 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 developers.
Are we here? Or are we here?
Radio ring a bell? You know what I mean?
And when I think about it honestly, and some of these stats I'm about to show you are disgusting. When I think about this honestly, it feels much more like we're at the can't you just send your own emails? Can't you just manage your own files? You used it for a fitness app. Ever heard of My Fitness Tracker? And they look at you sideways, and you go down the street and you ask anyone if they've ever fucking used Claude Code, and nobody has. And then Steve Wu from Bloomberg comes on stream and says SaaS companies aren't dead and OpenClaw is kind of a fad. And I ask him, Steve, have you ever used OpenClaw? And he's like, no. Why would I do that? And I'm like, well, I use it to do X, Y, and Z. And he's like, well, maybe for like your little podcast, but not for serious Bloomberg research. We wouldn't do that, he says. Maybe for the little podcast, OpenClaw is cool, but not for quant research. No. We would never do such a thing. You ever heard of the radio threadguy? And I'm like, okay. And so you look at the two things, and you can't help but feel like we are closer to Steve Ballmer than we are, or we're closer to David Letterman than we are to Steve Ballmer. Frank, what do you got? It better be good, actually. Hi, I'm a normie. I have no idea about software, and my OpenClaw brews beer and now runs half of our design company. Wow, movie. You seriously, you go out and you read posts like this one right here. God, I'm so good at this thing, but I missed it. Here it is. Yeah, here it is. You read posts like this. Just spoke with a couple of MDs in a large institutional private equity fund. They still believe that Claude is a fad and it will take decades before any real companies adopt them. Currently only subscribe to ChatGPT corporate account at work. Mentions multiple times that nothing has changed about their workflow since AI was released in 2022. Just goes to show that this app is an absolute bubble, Twitter, and no one outside of here is really prepared for what is coming. Okay? You get this, and the other side of the barbell is leading safety at Anthropic, saying that the world is in peril and they must commit their life to writing poetry to try to save what is left of whatever they have seen inside of Anthropic. And you think to yourself, are we Steve Ballmer or are we Bill Gates in this scenario? And so here's a couple crazy things I pulled. We did the Ben Affleck thing before, by the way, Frank. It's on the threadguy YouTube, Ben Affleck reaction. We did a whole segment on that. Here's something crazy for you. This is an excerpt from peak.com bubble. Chat, who is here for the Ben Affleck segment? But perhaps the biggest liability was the immense amount of money it spent on ads. This is pets.com, by the way. One of the biggest, most memorable names from this .com era. In the fourth quarter of 1999, the company shelled out $30.7 million for marketing, almost 6 times its quarterly revenue. During the 2000 Super Bowl, dubbed as the .com Super Bowl because the number of commercials from internet companies, including pets.com, the average 30-second ad cost more than $2 million. In June 2000, pets.com purchased the assets of competitors petstore.com for $13.7 million in stock. And so the thing and the theme amongst all of these companies that got fucking destroyed is that none of them made any money, bro. None of them made any money. They were not making any money. Okay? And they were not making any money. And it's very different, right? Like talking about pets.com being the poster child for the .com blow up that was spending 6 times their quarterly revenue on marketing in Super Bowl commercials. The other side of that barbell for where we are right now is Google and Nvidia and these fucking cash cow behemoths that are printing. And so I think the most disgusting chart on this that is relevant and worth showing is this. Okay? And what you're looking at is the price to earnings ratio of, can I not make this bigger? There you go. The PE ratio of the NASDAQ. Okay? Stock price to earnings ratio. And in 2001, bro, November 2001, the absolute Schmiko Pico top. NASDAQ was trading at 103 PE. 103x PE. At today's price, NASDAQ in February 2026 is trading at 24.8x PE. And so the entire NASDAQ could do a 4x right now with zero revenue growth. It could do it today on zero revenue growth, and it would still be lower than the mania we were at in 2001. I think this is the one fundamental difference. Like, there really isn't that much writing on this topic. There's not a lot of good videos. There's not a lot of good explanations as to what really happened. The cleanest explanation that I've seen as to why this happened is these companies weren't real. They're making no money. They're making absolutely no money, but there was public companies that were spending all their fundraising. They're spending all their money on domains and Super Bowl commercials. So they're making absolutely no money. They had no product and they weren't established. And now there's pros and cons of the AI trade being so concentrated right now, right? Like in the Mag 7, amongst these few companies, Googles, Nvidias of the world. The cons is that it's so concentrated and that a couple things could take the whole thing down. But the pros is that the companies that are leading this charge are fucking printing, and they're richer than God and have infinite money. And it's pretty crazy. Like, okay, here's another one for you. Is at the Pico top, NASDAQ is trading at 100x PE. Cisco, who was one of the leaders, was trading at 150x PE. Cisco's trading at 150x PE. Okay, Nvidia right now is trading at 46x. And so the equivalent would be if Nvidia woke up tomorrow at $600 a share and wasn't making a single dollar more in revenue. And I know comparison by analogy is not the greatest, cleanest way to do it, but you go back and you look at the data of these stats for what was going on in 2001, it is fucking egregious how inflated this thing was. It was so egregious, bro. Here's a Mark Cuban clip, who's one of the GOATs from the .com era.
Company, and
Are we going?
we sell the company, and I don't remember the exact price of Yahoo stock. It was like $250. From my perspective, I don't see the stock market just going up forever. I mean, literally, the NASDAQ just passed 5,000, which is where it was back then in 2000. And I, like I said, I traded stocks. I had started and sold a hedge fund. And so I understood what happens in the market, and gravy trains don't last forever. And so I'm like, look, this is crazy. I mean, it's always been a little crazy, but it's getting even too heated. So I had to wait 6 months before I could hedge my stock, meaning buy an offset in case it went down. So I literally took every penny I had, $20-some million in cash. I bought put on an index against the entire market.
Are we here that the leaders that have made the most money from it are so terrified that they're publicly putting their net worth to shorting Nvidia, Palantir? Michael Burry is.
Market. And that put was for 6 months, knowing that it got me to the point where I could hedge all my Yahoo stock and in case, but if the market crashed prior to that, I was as good as I could be. We sell the company, and
like, are we here that people are so panicked that this is what they're doing? Like, you think is Jensen short Nvidia on sides? Is Alex Karp short Palantir on Hyperliquid? It's like, I don't know. Barry's out here posting trader main ass T8, bro. He out here posting trader main charts. Big dog. The Fibonacci lines. This brother's in the Crypto Donald group. And so I hate to be the guy that comes out and says this time is different, because look, I didn't trade 2001. I didn't trade 2008. I didn't even really trade the COVID chart. Okay? And so for me to confidently be like, this time is different, feels brash. But for the game that we play, which is basically we win by being on the bleeding edge of tech innovation that's happening in real time, particularly at the intersection of crypto and AI and each of their own things respectively, that time for us is different. It's different for us this time, because that game, whether the majors go up or down or in between, the same way that we're seeing a little bit, just for a semblance of a decoupling between Bitcoin and on-chain, I just bro, we're just going to be able to play our game even if NVIDIA goes down 25%. NVIDIA goes down 30%, SPY goes down 10%. Are there going to be more or less AI experiments that are getting deployed on Twitter? And the answer is obviously undeniably more. And so as I look at these charts, and as I look at what happened during the dot-com era, and I look at what's happening right now in AI, I basically have two conclusions, which is, number one, it could get so much fucking crazier from where we are right now. It isn't even that crazy. And then number two is whether the majors go a lot higher or a lot lower, the game that we play, which is 5 days a week, basically all day on the bleeding edge, is we're going to win enormously hard from this. Enormously hard from this. Like, you can't see this. You don't look at this OpenClaw and then look at Moltbook and how it looks the same or looked the same. Digest that the two things happened in a month and think anything other than holy fuck, anyone can build anything, and there's just going to be a tech renaissance that's happening on the internet. And anyone and everyone can build anything. And everyone's going to be trying to figure out how to monetize. Some are going to do well, some are not. And a lot of them we're going to be able to speculate on. And we are just the best positioned cohort, I would argue, on the entire internet to win from this. 16 days ago, Claudebot went viral. It's changed the fucking world. Okay, you want to know how much impact this thing has had in 16 days, brother? Look at this. If you want 25K to start an OpenClaw-based startup, email me and my team your work/pitch at OpenClaw@LaunchCo. Jason Calacanis, All In Podcast. It went 16 days ago. It went viral. Jason Calacanis is doing fucking hackathons for OpenClaw. 16 days ago, okay? Moltbook was 2 weeks ago, bro. 2 weeks ago, Moltbook happened. Changed the world. Elon, Karpathy, biology. Every single smart tech person in the world is talking about it. And so the only conclusion is that there is going to be an absolute renaissance of technological experiments on the back end of what we've built on AI. And it doesn't matter if price goes up or price goes down on NVIDIA and Palantir and Amazon and Tesla. Our cohort that is basically trained to trade assets with no moat, that get easily vamped, and hyper rotation where there's a new hot, exciting thing every single day, which is the crypto crowd, is quite literally the best position in the, I would argue, in the entire world across all markets with any level of experience to trade and win the hardest from these. And so the only thing I can think about when I read anecdotes about the dot-com crash is, brother, we're gonna make a lot of money. And what exactly it looks like, I don't know. Is it all gonna be crypto? Probably not, but I would imagine a good amount of it is. And no one's better positioned for this than us. Like, the metals guys aren't. The stock guys that sit on indexes and just like DCA and hold everything are not prepared to play this game. This is literally the crypto game, bro. Attention vamps, new technology every day, new shiny thing, new thing to be excited about every single day. This is like the crypto way. We're actually the most conditioned to trade these markets and to navigate just this advancement and like this new world that we're heading into. And so I basically leave you with the dot-com segment, the dot-com AI segment, by saying, I do think this time is different. Even if this time isn't different, we have a lot higher to go. And even if we don't go a lot higher, there's infinite experimentation that's going to be deployed every single day. And we are the best positioned across all markets, quite literally across all markets, to win the hardest from whatever happens. So 3 hours on the dot. That's what I leave you with. I'll be back tomorrow with a mythical guest. We have the Giver, coming on stream. And it's a rare one. We're going to do some macro slop because why the fuck not? And I will see everyone tomorrow. Honestly, fun stream today. Thank you for pulling up. And bro, fuck all that doomer shit. Fuck the Bitcoin price. Fuck Hyperliquid. All you can do is be excited about what's happening. Every single day, there's some new AI viral experiment by some fucking retard who's never coded in his life. Has this thing going viral. Hundreds of thousands of users. There's absolutely no reason it can't be you. And there's absolutely no reason you can't monetize from it. So if you want, I have a Telegram chat. I post garbage in there. I post slop in there. Some crypto, some whatever garbage. Feel free to join. I'll link it in the chat. I'm never going to post this thing on Twitter because I'm shy and I want to keep it tight. And bro, we're just in the right place at the right time. We're in the right place at the right time at the intersection of the two most formative technologies of our generation, being AI and crypto. I love you all. I appreciate you all. Have a great rest of your day. Be good. Be great. Be here tomorrow, 3:30 p.m. EST. And I'm going to send you to Rasmus stream. Sorry. I'm sending you to Rasmus stream. Good luck. I'll see you tomorrow. Join the pit if you want to see my messages. And bro, download fucking Clawbot if you haven't. Open Claw. Download it. Download Open Claw. I'm sending you to Rasmus stream. Sorry. Bye.